at it for 5 minutes. I'll just come off of mute, give you a 1 minute warning. Like when you get to 4 minutes, I'll just say like 1 minute, and then that's it. That's the only time I'll talk.
All right, man.
That's
All
fine.
right. Bob
Sounds
my
good.
blood. Whenever you
All
start.
right, so
talking.
for the audience, this isn't me starting. This is just for the audience. The topic is, if Jesus' mustard seed statement disproves his divinity, then Muhammad's black seed statement disproves his prophethood. That is the topic in reference for the debate. We good?
Yeah, good to go. Whenever you start talking, I'll start the time.
All right, so I'm taking the affirmative on this. So the passages that are going to be in question are going to be Mark 4, Matthew 13, and Luke 13 in reference to the mustard seed dilemma. First off, King, I have no idea why this is called a dilemma, because I've never seen anyone present two horns. So hopefully we can at least start the debate with having two horns to where it's actually functionally a dilemma. I actually hate even calling this the black seed dilemma, because it's not a dilemma, it's an argument. So here's going to be the steel man of my opponent's position. It's going to be this. P1, the mustard seed must be the smallest seed, or Jesus' statement was ignorant and he is not God. P2, the mustard seed is not the smallest seed. Conclusion, Jesus' statement was ignorant and he is not God. This is going to just be a simple argument that he's going to present, and I think that's a good steel man of it. Now, I'm going to present a defeater for this argument, but I'm actually going to save it for a little bit later. Now, when we are talking about the mustard seed, what is in question is whether or not Jesus is speaking literally. The argument hinges on these 2 points. 1, Jesus must be speaking literally. If he's not speaking literally, then my opponent is going to know that there's no issue. 2, that this is not any sort of notion to where Jesus is able to not know what these other seeds are. So the speaking of what is literal, and Jesus cannot know any other seeds. So the point is that my opponent's going to bring up is just going to be in reference to the orchid seed and a number of other seeds. So I want to know what the two horns are. I want to know exactly what we are going to mean by our terms. But here is going to be the crux of the argument based off the topic. Here's my claim. My opponent has to have one goal. That goal is very simple. Survive. Respectfully. You have to survive without conceding. You have to survive without special pleading. If you can do that, I will be amazed. I will be shocked. But that has got to be your primary goal. No concessions and no special pleading. Because what we're going to see is that for every single move I make to defend the mustard seed, my opponent will make that same move to defend the black seed. So if it's in reference to scholarship, if it's in reference to the Greek or the Arabic, if it's in reference to the understanding of the people at the time, if it's in reference to hyperbole, if it's in reference to a proverb, no matter what it is, whatever move I make with Jesus, my opponent will make with Muhammad in one way or another. And so your goal, King, is just this. You have got to rescue Muhammad without rescuing Jesus. So I'm good with that, and you can say what you want to say.
Bob, you still have 2 minutes left on the dot if you want it.
No, it's fine. Like I said, we said somewhere between 2 and 5. I'm good. We can move on from there.
All right. King, I'll start your time when you start speaking, man.
All right, guys, very simple. So the dilemma is as follows. Either Christ got the detail about the mustard seed wrong and Christianity is false, or Jesus taught a knowing lie about the mustard seed and Christianity is false. So this argument hinges on verses like Mark 4:31 and Matthew, I believe, 13, verse 30 to 31 as well, I believe. Jesus makes the positive claim in his analogy about the kingdom of God, that the mustard seed is the smallest of all seeds on earth. Now, it's up to my interlocutor how he wants to dispute this or try and prove that it's not a real positive claim that's supposed to correspond to reality. And I'm keen to see how he's going to try and make this black seed argument follow. But other than that, that's pretty much it, man. Like, very basic, very simple. Let's see if you know, a 0.5 millimeter difference is going to be the defeat of Christianity. That would be very interesting. So, though this argument is the smallest of arguments on earth, it grows into a big tree, and all the birds come and perch on it. So let's get it started, man. I'm finished.
All right, you have literally 4 minutes left. You're done.
I'm chilling, man. I'm done.
All right.
I threw a lot more rhetoric in there. I was expecting more rhetoric from you, but
Hey,
all
man.
right. So let's go ahead and just get it started.
All right.
So,
what are we doing next?
Did I steel man your argument properly?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so I'm going to give it again. Just I want to be perfectly clear. All right, P1, the mustard seed must be the smallest seed, or Jesus' statement was ignorant and he is not God. P2, the mustard seed is not the smallest seed. Conclusion: Jesus' statement was ignorant and he is not God.
Yeah.
Is this correct?
Yeah, sounds good.
1 second. I'm so sorry.
You're fine, bro. You're fine.
Baby.
By the way, what is this? Is like rebuttals? What?
Yeah. So
No, just open dialogue.
Oh,
open dialogue essentially, right? So we're gonna see.
How long are you guys doing it?
We don't have like really a set time. We can go for like. Well, I'll wait for him to get back.
Yeah.
I'm back. My daughter was just stuck inside of her shirt. Anyway,
I'm just gonna let you guys like free flow for like 10 minutes. Is that good?
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good.
It'll probably be longer than that. So anyway, I want to go back to the steel man. The steel man, the mustard seed must be the smallest seed, or Jesus' statement was ignorant and he is not God. P2, the mustard seed is not the smallest seed. Conclusion: Jesus' statement was ignorant and he is not God.
Yep, sounds good. That's it.
Okay, cool. So go ahead, make your argument.
All right, perfect. So Christ makes the positive claim in Mark chapter 4, verses 30 to 31, that the mustard seed is the smallest of all seeds. Now, this is a falsehood if we take the reading literally. I would like to see, bought by blood, how you can respond to this clear falsehood out of the mouth of Christ. Go ahead.
I see no reason to take it as false.
The mustard seed is the smallest seed?
No, when I say I see no reason to take it as false, it's in reference to the illocution.
The illocution. Okay, sweet. So you're saying that Christ is speaking in a terminology which is in reference to some domain, right?
Yeah. So do
Okay,
you believe that it is the case that you can speak in a way that is literal, but it does not necessitate falsehood?
Well,
In reference to this, in reference to like a hyperbolic
well,
claim.
if the claim is literal and it's false, then no.
No, I'm asking about like hyperbole, a proverb, any of these things.
Hyperbole is not literal.
What do you mean? Of course, it's
Hyperbole is literally an exaggeration.
No, but you can speak literally about something.
Yeah.
Wait, listen.
Wait,
Pay attention.
hold on.
You
What do
can
you
speak
mean?
literally
What do you
about something. You can speak literally about something and still reference that thing in terms of hyperbole. Or you can reference in terms of phenomenology, right? You can speak phenomenologically, and that's also going to be something that is a literal statement, but it doesn't necessitate that this is going to be a lie.
No,
So, for example, like I can
if
give
it's
you
a
an example.
hyperbole, it's necessarily an exaggeration, or it's relating to some domain, right?
Yeah,
Now,
is it a literal exaggeration?
Bert, what do you mean a literal exaggeration? What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, is it
If
a literal exaggeration?
If it's an exaggeration, then it's definitely literal. It's not literal. That's the point. So
No, I'm asking, is it a literal exaggeration?
what are you asking me, dude? I already told
Are you literally exaggerating? You're intentionally
Are you literally exaggerating? Yes, you're
You're
exaggerating in the real world. Yes.
Yeah, you're intentionally exaggerating, to which the words you're using, right? That exaggeration is still going to be literal in that sense. I'm not saying that the hyperbole
Yes,
and the literal
yes, about by blood. In the real world, you made an exaggeration, which is not literal.
Okay, great. So watch this. Here's what I want to do.
Good.
I'm gonna give you an analog, and I want you to tell me where this goes wrong.
Okay.
So imagine you and I are standing in Disney World, and I say, let's go ride the Everest roller coaster. It is the largest roller coaster of all the roller coasters.
Yeah.
Right now,
what domain would this be referring to?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So the domain matters.
Yeah.
So the context matters.
Yeah.
So I can make the statement. Now let's tie this to the seed. I can make the
Is
statement.
it the
that
largest
the
roller
mustard.
coaster
Wait,
on
wait,
Earth?
wait, wait, wait,
Is it
wait,
the
wait. No, no, no,
largest
don't
one
cut
on
me off.
Earth?
I can make the statement that the
Is it the
mustard
largest on
seed.
Earth?
Wait, listen. I can. Oh, we'll get there. I can make the statement that the mustard seed is the smallest of all seeds, and in reference to the earth, in reference to the soil. Do you agree? First off, if you want to point this out, do you agree that the term "earth" there in the Greek has semantic range?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so it doesn't necessitate the entire planet.
It doesn't have to mean. Well, it depends what reading you want to take. You can say soil. You can say country. You can say earth. However, soil and land are going to refer to the same domain. That's not going
Does
to
it
really change.
so it does not logically necessitate the whole planet?
No, it doesn't. No, that's not my argument. It doesn't have
Okay,
to.
great. So
Doesn't
is your
have to.
argument about probability?
No, I can grant it to you that it's talking about the country. Christ would still be wrong because we have smaller seeds in the region which would have been farmed. Now, Christ can make this analogy without making a positive claim about reality, which is false, and still get his point across. This is why we see Matthew actually removes the part where it says the smallest of all seeds on earth or in the land. Obviously, we know Matthew, he's the author of Matthew is writing somewhere in Greece or some neighboring area. So in order to avoid taking any chances, he changes this. And actually in Luke, we see that he completely removes the superlative. He doesn't say it's the smallest seed. So Christ mentioning it being on the land or on the earth, this is a point of discussion in the early Christian communities. And I can demonstrate that. I have all my sources with me.
Okay, great. So do I. So take the analog, right? You said when I go to Disney World and I say, let's ride the Everest, it is the largest roller coaster, right? Of all the roller
and you agree
coasters.
that superlative, is informative, right? You're giving real information.
Yeah, it's superlative to the context, but it's not superlative.
And the context,
but it's not
the context
superlative. Wait, one second. Let me finish.
Context is the roller coaster,
it's
right?
superlative
Roller
to the
coasters
context,
in the park?
but it is not superlative to the set of all roller coasters.
Yeah,
Only an
but
isolated set where the
relative to
domain
the park,
is
right?
restricted.
Relative to the park.
Yeah, it's relative to
Okay,
the park.
okay. So
in the same way that Jesus'
relative
words
to
are
Judah?
relative to the land he's in.
Oh,
Correct?
you're so done. All right. So I'm
Correct?
gonna mention. Okay. All right, guys. Let's talk about it.
So let's
Let
go
me
over
respond.
this.
I got you.
Show
Let me
me-
respond.
Wait. No. I haven't finished. You cut me off. So when it comes to the analog, okay, you said that it is going to be context dependent
Context
to
dependent.
being in the park. All right.
Yeah.
I'm making the claim that Jesus' statement is going to be context dependent based on the land. Now, you said there's smaller seeds in Israel contextually.
Yep.
What are those?
I got you. So we actually have the father of pharmaceuticals, Dioscorides, who talks about this in his book regarding botany. He says that they had purple orchid seeds in Judah. By the way, Dioscorides was born maybe 7 years after Christ. He's living in the same time period as Christ and his contemporaries, okay? He mentions that this purple orchid seed is one of the smallest seeds, and it's actually 20 times smaller than the mustard seed, all right? So we have seeds which are present within Christ's time, which are used medically, which are sown, and they actually grow into large trees, and they still fit the the example, right? So contextually, Christ would still be wrong. Thank you very much. Also,
The orchid
we have
seed
even smaller
grows
seeds
into a
than that.
large
We have
tree.
poppy seeds.
The orchid
and we have-
seed goes into a large tree.
Fig seeds, which are on average smaller. Now, you could argue fig seeds, they aren't planted as commonly. However, orchid seeds and poppy seeds were definitely planted, and I have sources to show their cultivation since before the Iron Age. So Christ would be wrong even if he's referring to the local domain, because his contemporaries are talking about smaller seeds.
Okay, so you just buried yourself and you don't realize it. The moment that you mentioned
BBL, you're
that
lagging,
fig
bro. We can't see you.
seed- I'm lagging?
BBL, we can't see you, bro.
Wait, I'm lagging?
Yeah, bro, your screen's not moving, dude.
What are you talking about?
Yo, do you want to
He's good on
rejoin,
my
bro?
end.
You're actually, I can't see you
Central, is it
moving.
me? Is it me?
Wait,
Is it-
hold on.
Is it me or him?
Here,
I
you
think
got it. You
it's-
got it.
I
Now
think it's
you're
him.
lagging a bit, but I can see you.
Okay, so this is the moment you just buried your entire argument without realizing it.
I'm so buried like that mustard seed, man. Go ahead and show us.
So
I'm
watch
so
this.
buried.
So it's the,
Hey,
so it
everyone,
is-
we're
so
planting BBB in the land of Judah after this, man.
Listen. So I'm going to present
Yeah.
you an argument now. I'm going to present you an argument It's going to be a Bayesian argument. The moment you mentioned fig seeds are cultivated throughout Israel and that they're smaller seeds, guess what? Your argument hinges on Jesus being unaware of smaller seeds and truly believing the mustard seed is the smallest seed. Now watch
He's
this.
so cooked. Watch this.
P1. It is more probable Jesus is consciously aware of the size of fig seeds, then it is more probable Jesus is speaking non-literally the size of mustard seeds. P2, it is more probable Jesus is consciously aware of the size of fig seeds. Conclusion, it is more probable Jesus is speaking non-literally the size of mustard seeds. There's an if-then conditional on P1. If it is the case that you're saying fig seeds are propagated throughout Israel, then that means all I need to defeat the mustard seed is for Jesus to be consciously aware of fig seeds. So what premise do you deny?
You said premise 2 was about him knowing the seeds, right?
Here, I'll give it again. If it is more probable Jesus is consciously aware of the size of fig seeds, then it is more probable Jesus is speaking non-literally of the size of mustard seeds. P2, it is more probable Jesus is consciously aware of the size of fig seeds.
Okay, the second one.
Okay,
second one.
conclusion,
Okay,
it's
so
more
I was
probable
right.
Jesus is speaking
Okay,
non-literally.
sweet. Now I'm going to respond to that, and, you know, that's actually a point in my favor, and I'm going to show you why. So Christ, when it comes to the size of fig seeds, no, he would not have been aware just because of the cultivation of figs, and I'll tell you why. Because the difference between the mustard seed and the fig seed is only around 0.3 to 0.5 millimeters. That's why it's understood commonly by the people contemporary to Christ. And I'm actually going to show you guys this. You guys are going to laugh when you see this. But you have the son of the teacher of Paul in the book of Acts, who says that the mustard seed is the smallest of all things. There are no limits to how small something, a stain of blood can be, even as small as a mustard seed. I'm also going to show you Peter Chrysologus, who is aware of figs, because figs are widespread in the Roman Empire, and he says that the mustard seed is the smallest of all seeds that God ever created, or more specifically, the smallest of creatures God ever created. Peter Chrysologus, the Orthodox saint, literally believed that the mustard seed was the smallest.
Whoa, loud noises. What's happening?
What the hell? So let me continue speaking. Peter Chrysologus gives in his commentary on the mustard seed parable in Matthew that the smallest thing God ever created in the world is the mustard seed. So, because the difference is so minute and mustard seeds are more common, and to the naked eye the difference is not palpable, you wouldn't be able to tell, then it's more likely Christ just got it wrong, which was the common idea at his time, because it was more it was more commonly observed. So actually, that probability goes in my favor.
Okay, not even a little bit. So when we talk about probability, we're going to talk about it in the sense of a Bayesian epistemology. Okay, so the prior probability that figs are cultivated and that Jews are aware of figs is already extremely high. Why is that the case? Well, let's look at James H. Charlesworth. In Jesus and Archaeology, he says the fig was one of the staple foods of ancient Palestine. Well, let's see. Do we have any instances where Jesus is seeking to eat a fig? Do we have any instances where Jesus is talking about fig trees?
You're not dealing with what I said.
Jehoiakim, wait, watch this. Jehoiakim Jeremiah. No. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to force you to actually make an argument, because what you did was not an argument. What you did was make assertions. You talked about some guy who says it's the smallest seed in all of creation.
The smallest thing God ever created, man.
Wait. Why should I care?
Because because he comes.
I thought we were talking about what Jesus said
Christ,
and like
the
conditions of Jesus.
I already answered that.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to make a probabilistic argument.
I told you.
Let me finish really quick.
I'm telling you now.
Let me finish.
This is a bigger issue for you, because you asked me a question.
No, it's not.
You asked me a question. You said, "Why should I care?"
Yeah, you answered it.
Yeah, I'm telling you. This is because
you said
the difference is only noticeable if you were highly skeptical, right? It's a very, very small difference. It's a 0.5 to 0.4 millimeter difference. So because the common belief at the time of Christ was that the mustard seed actually is the smallest seed, then it's more likely than Christ just spoke what he was hearing.
This is not going to be the case. So fig seeds do not. fig seeds do not have the same size throughout. Like, so it's based off the size of the fig. When you have a larger fig, the seeds in it are going to usually be larger. When you have a smaller fig, the seeds in it are usually going to be smaller. So there's already a range to which you even said
Do mustard
that
seeds
there are
vary in size?
occasions. Well, wait a second. There are occasions to where the fig seed is larger or smaller than the mustard seed, because why? It can move. So in Jehoiakim Jeremiah's Jerusalem in the time of Jesus, he says this: the fig tree was one of the most important fruit trees in Palestine. Now, here's what you have to do in terms of probability. So when I say that figs are propagated all throughout ancient Israel, that people, they would eat figs as part of their primary diet, Jesus himself in Mark goes to a fig tree seeking food from it, in the sense, and then he curses it and said, "You shall never bear fruit again." Jesus speaks of fig trees. There are over 60 references of fig trees in the Old Testament and the New Testament alone. So the prior probability that the ancient Jews are aware of fig trees, already monumentally high. The posterior probability, when we add in all of the passages in Mark, when we add in all of the different notations where Jesus uses fig trees in his example, means that he is consciously aware of fig trees. Now, he's also consciously aware of dill, of cumin, of all of these other things, because he says you tithe these things. Jesus is intimately familiar with farming and agricultural knowledge, to which, when he gives the parable of the sower in the beginning of Mark chapter 4, he's able to give all of the different ways that the seed, if it falls in good soil, then it's going to grow. But if it falls in any of these other places, then guess what? It's not. Jesus constantly uses agriculture. So what you have to do is now, in the posterior probability, because I'm updating the hypothesis, which with each individual point and each individual evidence, you now have got to show me, rather than just like special pleading or begging the question, why it is more probable that Jesus is unaware of the consciously unaware of the size of fig seeds in comparison to mustard seeds, if he knows both seeds. So he knows a mustard seed is small, right?
Yep.
He's consciously aware of figs, right?
Yep.
The probability is in my favor, not yours.
It's not.
So
I'll
give
tell you why.
give a
I'll tell you-
probabilistic
I'll
argument.
tell you why it's not in your favor. All right. Blood by blood. How much is the difference between the size of a fig seed and a mustard seed?
It varies.
It's absolutely minimal. Like, you wouldn't be able to tell for the life of you unless you were
can't-
very
you
skeptical
can't
and measuring them. Now,
What's the argument? You can't tell.
Now, what's more likely? The common belief of the mustard seed being the smallest seed, which we can show from the Talmud, we can show from church father commentaries, we can show from botanists contemporary to Christ, the mustard seed having been the smallest. What's more likely? Christ is repeating something which was commonly understood by the people, or Christ had a stethoscope and he was measuring the sizes of the seeds to get the 0.5 millimeter difference. Go ahead.
Yeah, you realize I told you that you have to present an argument for why you're denying second premise. Asking me a question is not presenting a probabilistic argument.
I'm telling you, the historical context is in my favor, because this was a common falsehood which was.
Yeah, that's an
believed by-
assertion. Now support
Yeah,
it.
do you want the evidence? I can give you sources if you want.
I'm asking for an argument for why it is the
I'm
case
telling you
that
I'm-
Jesus
I'm
is not
explain- I'm
consciously
explain-
aware of the size of fig seeds in comparison with mustard
Yeah,
seeds. I gave you an argument. I gave you a
I'm
syllogism.
telling you the difference.
I'm asking for a probabilistic argument, not an assertion.
I'm telling you the difference is minimal, which you already agreed to, and the
I can
common
grant
belief
that.
is that. Sorry.
I can grant it's minimal. That's fine.
Okay, the difference is minimal, and the common belief is the mustard seed is smaller. Okay, because of the very minute difference. Now, we see this in the literature. However, what you're asserting is not seen in the literature. People weren't generally aware. We have, we have rabbis in the Talmud. We have your early church fathers. We have, for example, what's his name? Hilary of Poitiers, who says that it is the smallest of all seeds on earth, the smallest and most pungent of seeds, he says. We've got Saint Cyril of Alexandria, who says that the mustard seed is the smallest of all seeds, and it grows into one of the largest of all plants, but it starts as one of the least of plants, and I'm happy to show this. We've also got, I know you don't take him as a father or anything, but we've also got our earliest commentary, Origen, who says that Jesus was speaking about this being the smallest of seeds on earth. So you've got various sources which attest to this common belief. Now, obviously, because people don't have microscopes and they're not going around measuring per millimeter the size of seeds, what's more expected is that Christ is just getting this detail wrong. So the probability is in my favor, sir.
Yeah. So that is not justifying your principle. So I can grant.
Okay, hold on.
No. Watch this. Watch this. I can grant you. I let you speak. I let you speak.
Wait, just 1 second. So
I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna respond.
You didn't deal with what I said. Wait,
I'm gonna respond. I'm about to. I have to finish. No, I'm gonna respond.
Hold on.
You finish talking.
I've got 5, 6.
I'm gonna finish.
I've got
I'm
5,
gonna
6
finish
different
what I was
pieces of
saying. Wait,
written
no.
literature.
You cut
What
me off.
justifies?
I'm
What
going
justifies your
to show how you
interpretation?
didn't justify it.
Okay, guys, I'll step in. But King, you just spoke. I think it's let him speak, and then you can go after.
Good, man. Good.
Thanks. Yeah. So when it comes to the justification of the principle you're applying, you're just asserting it's the case based off of people referencing the mustard seed. But guess what? This more aligns with a Jewish and Greek proverb that is a concept in which they're all in alignment. So for example, the Mishnah Idiot, for I might think that there might have been a drop of blood the size of a mustard seed. This is in the Mishnah. The Mishnah Taharot, if the liquid was level, even though the piece was the size of a mustard seed, they're combined together. The Mishnah Nida, 5.2, in the mission of, in seminal emission, impart impurity, any amount, even like the size of a mustard seed, or even smaller than that. Oh, you don't want more than Jewish references? I can give you Greek references as well. In the Epistola Moralis, or the moral letters of Seneca the Younger, words should be scattered like seed, no matter how small the seed may be. If it has once found favorable ground, it unfolds in strength, and from an insignificant thing spreads to the greatest growth. Now, when we are referencing these concepts, this is going to favor that this is being used as a probable, because not only now do you have to justify the probability of Jesus not being aware consciously of fig seeds, now you have to do it for the entirety of the Jewish population. You have to do it for the entirety because they're using this as a proverb. Do you really believe that no one in ancient Judaism could tell the difference from a fig, to which they're constantly using as a source of food, a mustard seed, which they're constantly sowing in the ground? You don't think anyone is able to make that comparison? That's where you think the probability lies?
Yeah, very simple. So I already told you the difference is highly minute. That's why all of the commentaries that you just mentioned are in my favor. And I've got fathers who give and say this is a literal statement. You have a Orthodox father who's literally telling you that it's the smallest thing God ever created in this world. So, I mean, unless you didn't know about by blood, the people during, Christ's time were highly uneducated, very stupid. So, I mean, unless you're expecting all of them to sit down and measure this 0.2 to 0.3 millimeter difference, then the probability is in my favor. Also, even if we grant that Christ knew about the fig seed being smaller, then you've got another issue, because Christ is affirming a belief that they already had held and believed to be true, while it is false. So he would just be making an even bigger mistake. He'd be lying.
No, because the argument is not that he's making a mistake. It's that he is using phenomenological language in conjunction with a Jewish proverb in order to reference. Like, let's actually go through the passage. We've been talking a lot in terms of argumentation.
And I'm going to read some sources for you while we do that. Just give me a second.
Yeah. Let's actually go through the passage. All right. So I'm going to read Mark 4:30, and then we can talk about like your other things. He said, with what can we compare the kingdom of God, or what parable shall we use for it? It is like a grain of mustard seed, which when sown, guess what? The moment he says when sown, it closes the domain. On the soil is the smaller of the seeds upon the soil. Yet when it is grown, it grows up and becomes larger than all the garden plants and puts out large branches, so that the birds of the air can make their nests in its shade. With many parables, he was speaking the word to them so far as they were able to hear it. And he did not speak to them without a parable, but he was explaining everything privately to his own disciples. So, what does this tell us? Where did he go? Come back. I'm not done with you.
Well, I'm here. I'm getting you a source.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, what does this tell you? This tells you two things, because in the beginning of Mark, Jesus says that he speaks to them and that the mysteries are given to the disciples, right? So the theology is given to the disciples. So if the theology and the mystery is given to the disciples, King, my question for you then is, what does verse 33 in Mark mean when it says, with so many parables, he was speaking a word to them so far as they were able to hear it? What does that mean?
Yeah, so far as they were able to understand it.
Okay, wait a second. So far as they were able to understand it. But previously in the passage, he says that he speaks in mysteries to them, and to the disciples, he reveals the mysteries. So which is it? Is he speaking in mysteries, or is he speaking as far as they're able?
You're talking about the other people, yeah. Other people, yeah. He confuses them.
Okay. Okay, so he speaks in mysteries to the crowd.
Yep.
Wait, in verse 33, it says he speaks to them as far as they're able to understand it.
Yeah.
What do we mean by that?
Yeah, so he speaks to them so he speaks to them in their locality, what they understand. That actually supports. That actually supports.
Wait a second. You just contradicted yourself.
That literally supports.
You just contradicted yourself.
Wait, by my blood.
You just contradicted yourself.
Wait. Was the seed commonly
You said he speaks to them in mysteries.
Hold on.
And he speaks to them in a way that only they can understand.
He just blundered so bad.
You just contradicted yourself flat out.
All right, guys.
Mysteries,
was the seed
mysteries, and as far as they're able to understand or comprehend.
Wait, by my blood. Was it known to be the smallest seed by Christ's contemporaries?
Okay.
Was it known to be the smallest seed by Christ's contemporaries?
What, the mustard seed? Phenomenologically, that's fine.
No. Was it? No. You have
Phenomenologically,
to
that's fine.
You have
Proverbially, that's
fine.
fine.
You have to justify that it's not what they actually believe. Now we're actually going to read some of the sources. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull up what Saint.
Wait, are you going to address your contradiction?
Hold on, because you just said.
Are you going to address your contradiction?
So, hold on. No, I didn't contradict. Let's read it. All right. Saint Hilary of Poitiers, what does he say? He says, the kingdom of God is like a mustard seed. The Lord compared himself to a mustard seed, which is the most pungent and smallest of all seeds, as internal force and power is increased by tribulations and pressure. So this states that it's the smallest seed. Also, I'm going to pull up for you now.
While you do that, I'll go ahead and read this.
This is crazy.
So,
this is crazy.
Yeah,
this is actually insane. Now we have
here one sec. You pause.
Hold on, let me finish. Saint Peter.
Wait, you just read. Okay, go ahead.
Wait, let me read the sources. So guys, go on clear display. You can see. Indeed, it is the tiniest of tiny things. And what does Saint Peter Chrysologus say at the end of his excerpt? He says, "Indeed, it is the smallest of creatures ever created by God." Bought by blood. Did early Christians and Jews believe that the mustard seed was the smallest thing in existence? Oh wow, man! This actually goes.
So you can point.
This actually goes in my favor.
I already answered this. So something can literally be the smallest in a proverbial sense, and you want me to prove it? I can actually quote this scholar.
Literally, proverbially, literally, proverbially. Brother, what are you talking about? What
so when I say something in reference, listen. I have to teach you.
If it's not the smallest, literal, hold on.
Wait. No. You asked me a question. Now I'm going to answer. You asked me a question.
But you just blundered. If it's not the smallest literally,
no, you asked me a question. Now I'm going to answer.
How can it be both? What are you talking about?
It's easy.
This is terrible.
So in reference to all seeds that are used in Proverbs, it is literally going to be the smallest seed in reference to those Proverbs. So here I can... Wait. What happened? Okay, so I can quote this.
We have a mod.
Yeah, hey, everyone, go away.
Yeah, guys,
anyway,
chill out.
Chill out. They're doing okay. Everyone's fine.
That's fine. I don't mind talking to BB on. It's all right.
Yeah. So anyway,
BB.
Klein Snodgrass, in his Stories with Intent, he says this: in both Jewish and Greco-Roman world, mustard seeds were proverbially known for their small size, even though other seeds, such as orchid or cypress, were known to be smaller. Those who measure such things report that the mustard seed is 1 millimeter in diameter and so tiny it requires that 725 to 726 seed or 760 seeds to equal 1 gram. Now watch this. Since we are dealing with proverbial use Anxiety about such issues and accuracy are out of bounds because the word translated smallest and largest in Matthew and Mark actually are both comparative forms, but the comparative is often used for the superlative in New Testament Greek. Since the comparison is with all seeds, a superlative meaning seems required. So what is he saying? He's saying that it is literally the smallest seed in reference to the Jewish proverb that is being propagated throughout Jewish history and throughout Greek history, throughout Jewish culture and throughout Greek culture. That is the point.
Brother,
so every time you make this
they
argument
believe that
about
proverb
the
corresponded
mustard
to
seed,
reality. That's what you're not
listen,
getting.
you're assuming
It's in the proverb because they believe it to be true. You're not dealing with what I've given you. I've literally shown you
what's the justifying principle?
I'm telling you, I've shown you 2, 3, 4 different fathers and saints who are all saying that it's one of the, or the smallest thing in existence or of all seeds.
Yeah,
you're not dealing with
but you're doing the same thing. Listen, you're doing the same thing with Jesus. What is the justifying principle without question begging that is going to offer me a criteria for why they are not using this as a Jewish proverb and that they are speaking literally? Now, we're talking in our debate right now about whether or not Jesus is speaking literally. I've already demonstrated that's obviously going to be false based off the probabilistic argument I gave. But now you have to justify while these other sources that you've brought are speaking literally and they're not speaking in reference to phenomenology and proverb that is already being cultivated throughout the time period. Justify it.
Perfect. I told you. So firstly, when we read text, our immediate interpretation is that it's literal unless we have reason to do otherwise. So you're the one that's question begging. I've showed you fathers who are saying that it's the smallest of God's creations. So, I mean, you need to deal with that. Secondly, you didn't deal with any of the points that I brought. You're not dealing with the fact that it's understood to be the smallest because it's a minute difference. All right. You're not dealing with that. I already told you.
So who decides?
I already told you to the commoner, it's going to be known as the smallest, and this is why up until the I think 1,050 years after Christ, there was nobody who said that this was hyperbolic. We don't have any commentaries or fathers who say that this statement was not literal. All we see is them just affirming this positive claim made there. So you're going to have to justify it.
That begs the question. I need you to justify it. Your justification was a prima facie understanding or reading or interpretation of the text. I'm asking for the justifying principle that leads you away from just a prima facie
I got you. I'll answer that now.
Yeah,
so firstly, Christ is already explaining in an informative scope. So he's giving something parabolic and he's giving you a domain in which you can understand what he's saying. So he says that the mustard seed is the smallest of all seeds on earth or in the soil, right? The mustard seed, which is the smallest of all seeds on the earth. Now, because this is exhaustive and it's informative, and it has a real measurement that we can actually observe, we have no reason to assume a hyperbole because grammatically it doesn't work. Now, let me ask you a question, Bob by Blood. If I say to you that I am like a gorilla, which is the largest of all animals on earth, does that sentence make any sense if I am fundamentally wrong?
Depends on the elocution.
Wait. The elocution is, it's commonly believed to be the largest animal.
No, if your intent is that it common... Wait a second. Are you laughing?
Come on, man.
If it is large... Listen, if you are saying in your elocutionary intent, you are saying that I am the biggest gorilla, and you just relayed to me what your intention was.
I didn't say that. I said, I'm saying, if I said, I am like a gorilla. Let me specify. I am like a gorilla, which is the largest of all land animals on the earth. All right. Would this sound, if I was trying to be informative, would this sound would this have any linguistic strength or would it sound ridiculous?
It depends on the context.
Watch this. What context?
If it's the case that gorilla being the largest animal is already being utilized as a Jewish proverb, if the understanding of a gorilla to the people phenomenologically was the largest land animal, then yes, that's perfectly fine. But if you're saying it and the elocution is that you're being literal in comparison to the set of all animals, then yes, you would be giving a false statement. But if you made that statement to a tribe of people that the largest animal that they've ever seen is going to be a gorilla, gorilla. That's like their phenomenology. And it aligns with some sort of proverb that tribe is perpetuating, then guess what? It's going to be the case that you can be using that phrase and be being informative. Correct?
All right, perfect. I'm going to answer that question. So you said if it's being used proverbially, then he can affirm it because it's commonplace belief, essentially, is what you're trying to say. So insofar as their belief set.
Gonna answer the question, or?
Yeah, no, so that wouldn't be problematic should they actually believe that there are smaller seeds. However, the issue is,
No, not the seeds, the gorilla.
I'm answering you. I'm answering you now. So, for example, I've given you, for example, now 4 or 5 sources which affirm it, and we have no reason to hold on. Let me speak. We have no reason to assume any sort of exaggeration or metaphor here. The statements are exhaustive. Also, this is still problematic if the saying that they believe is true is actually not corresponding to reality. I'll give you why. Let's say the Jews at the time of Christ, they believe
gorilla,
that
brother.
I'm telling you. I'm saying, let's imagine. Let's imagine that the Jays.
No, I want to stick on the analog.
You're not dealing with it. I'm saying, let's imagine
that
the common belief at the time of Christ is that the gorilla.
You're just dodging the question.
I answered you.
The question. No, you did not. I asked you a very specific question.
I told you it would be problematic if their belief they believe that corresponded to reality. Yes.
So, if it's problematic if their belief corresponds to reality, in what sense?
I'm telling you, because Christ would be affirming a common falsehood, and as Irenaeus says,
the gorilla, brother. We're just talking about the gorilla. I want to use your analog for a second.
I'm telling you, it would be problematic if Christ were to affirm it.
You brought me a gorilla. Let's talk about the gorilla from the analog, okay?
Yeah, I brought you a gorilla.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you again. If the context in which you're saying I'm the biggest gorilla and this is the largest of all land animals, right? If there is a tribe that hears you say this, then guess what? The perlocution in which they're going to derive meaning, it is going to be based off of whether or not if they have a Jewish proverb about gorillas. And secondly, phenomenologically, insofar as that they're unaware of any larger land animals.
Oh my God, that's literally what I said. Dude, I told you.
I asked you a question about it. Let me finish.
Bro, you're not tracking.
Let me ask the question.
I told you, if they believe that the seed is the smallest, and that's why they're using it in their proverbs, it would still be problematic. Because now you've just got Christ affirming a common falsehood. That's why I gave the example.
No, it's not.
Listen, you just blundered. That's
why I was gonna. It's not about the size.
Let me speak.
The Jewish proverb is in reference.
Don't interrupt me. Let me speak.
So you cut me off.
That's why you
asked
me a question. You asked me a question, dude.
You didn't let me finish the question. I didn't ask the question.
Let me tell you. If
you
they
cut me off before I got to the question.
If they believe
before I got to the question. Guys. Bob, I clarify the question and then let King respond.
Okay, so is it problematic if you live in a culture and the culture has a proverb about the gorilla and the culture phenomenologically understands that the gorilla is going to be like the largest thing that they've seen, right?
Yeah, yes. If they believe it corresponds to reality, it would be an issue because we wouldn't expect the creator of the universe to make this mistake. That's why we have the Mattean embarrassment and we have the removal of the superlative statement in Luke, right? And we have So we have later saints and fathers who found this as an issue, and that's why they specified that it was metaphorical, but the earliest commentaries don't say that. So the point is, and what's more parsimonious to believe, is that Christ is just simply repeating a common falsehood that was prevalent at his time. The less parsimonious response is to assume that Christ was God, and he just gave them a statement in which they already believed to be true, but really he had some hidden knowledge. There's no justification for that.
No, it's really easy. If you're using a proverb, so the proverb is going to be in reference to the mustard seed, right? The smallness is going to be in reference to the Jewish proverb as well.
You have to affirm that it's the smallest of all seeds?
Wait a second. The smallest is going to be in reference to the Jewish proverb, and it's also going to be phenomenological in the sense of the people at the time in reference to the seeds that they are sowing. So I said I wanted to do this earlier, and we didn't actually get there. Let's actually go through the passage in question. So in Mark, first off, In verse 31, it says, it is like a grain of mustard seed, which when sown on the soil is the smallest of all seeds upon the soil. Okay?
Is that true?
Does that restrict the domain?
Yeah.
Okay, so the domain is restricted by seeds that are sown by
Is
the
that,
people
is that
he's
correct?
talking
Is that
to,
correct?
right?
Is that correct?
What do you mean?
Is that statement correct?
Is the statement correct? Yes, in the phenomenological sense.
Oh my
Absolutely.
god! Oh my god! The Jews
Yes.
the Jews who believe this to be the case, were they saying
Yes.
the right thing? Yes, bro. Yo,
Listen, pay
bro,
attention.
There's no way.
You're taking it. You're just asserting that it's literal. You gotta
that's
lock
insane.
in, bro.
So
You're
by blood, if
asserting-
they believe, one
you're
second, if they
asserting that
believe,
it's literal.
by the way, we have.
No,
wait,
listen.
Hold on.
It is
Hold
not
on.
a false
Let me finish, bro.
statement.
Damn, let me finish.
You cut
If
me
they-
off
if
again.
they- you asked
What
me
do
a
you
question.
mean?
Oh my god.
No, I didn't.
Listen.
What
All right,
question did I ask you?
Listen.
I think you're both speaking over each other. It's okay. Like, I'm letting you guys free flow, but ask the questions directly
I think
and then respond
I think I did
directly.
interrupt. To be fair, go ahead, Bubba. I think I did interrupt actually.
Okay, I didn't ask you a question.
I
So,
think I did.
when sown on the soil restricts the domain. Now, it restricts the domain to the people insofar as that they have the perlocution, right? How they are hearing Jesus. If it is the case that that community, that people that Jesus is talking to is sowing mustard seeds, and phenomenologically this is going to be consistent with the Jewish proverb that's already being perpetuated, then it's not going to be a false statement because it is literally going to be the smallest seed proverbially.
Known to them, right?
I'm sorry, to them?
No,
yeah, of
known
course
to
to them.
them.
That's who he's talking
Oh
to.
my god! So that's the issue. So blood by blood. If the Jews at the time of Christ, which they did believe this by the way, if they were to believe that the earth was flat, and Christ was to say, for example, the table is like the earth, which is the flattest of all the planets, would he be justified in doing so?
Again, it just depends on the elocution.
Oh my god!
I've given the same answer. I don't know why you're laughing.
Christ could affirm a flat earth in order
It's
to appeal
dependent
to
on
his
the elocution.
audience.
Wait. Can you wait? Watch this.
Allah!
Watch this yet again.
Allah!
Yet again. Do I have to walk you through this again?
Allahu Akbar, man. What are we doing?
Do I have to walk you through this again?
I
Do you
think-
know
I think
what
we-
elocutionary dependency is?
That yes, I know what it. I know
So it
what
matters
is.
on the intent of Jesus.
Sorry.
So it matters on the intent of Jesus.
It matters on the intent of Jesus insofar as
Okay,
whether
perfect.
he's
Wait.
I'm
Now,
telling
if
you.
it matters on
It
the
matters
intent of, if
insofar-
it matters
I'm
on the
I'm
intent
answering.
of Jesus,
It matters insofar as the intent of
Wait.
Jesus, whether he affirms it or doesn't affirm it. Now, this is why I gave you
Okay.
the flat. This is why I gave you the flat Earth example. And
So
that's
it
why I
doesn't
gave.
necessitate.
Hold on. That's why I gave you the example in Luke, because in Luke we have the same parable without the positive claim, without the affirmation. So this is why I'm
doesn't
saying, if you
necessitate-
believe that God is all-knowing and God can't affirm falsehoods, God can't make mistakes, then if Christ is affirming a common falsehood that they believe, this is problematic, because you have Jesus. He's essentially like, you're getting the fundamentals of monotheism are crumbling.
No,
So-
no,
that's the
I don't
issue.
even know why you're switching to monotheism. First off, I've defeated you already without even bringing up Jesus' divinity. I just said that Jesus was able to know as a higher probability that he's consciously aware of smaller seeds than mustard seeds. That has nothing to do with divinity. The thing that your argument rests on is that Jesus is, I gave the conditions. Jesus is speaking literally, and Jesus is unaware of smaller seeds. The probability favors me on that. The point that I'm bringing to you is the illocutionary intent. If Jesus's intention there is going to be to deliver a mystery, if Jesus' intention, so for example, let me just ask, is it going to be the case that a necessary condition to be divine is that you are not allowed to use hyperbole, proverbs, or anything that would align with the culture of the time? Is that a necessary condition?
No, of course not.
Then it doesn't negate Jesus' divinity.
No.
So
but-
if Jesus is
oh my-
using
oh
a
my-
proverb,
oh my God.
and if Jesus
Oh-
is
oh
using
my- oh my God.
phenomenological language, it doesn't
Oh-
negate Jesus'
oh my God.
divinity, correct?
No, dude. Oh my God, you're not understanding. The issue is,
am understanding.
they believe that this proverb corresponded to reality. That's what you're not getting. So if they believe
Prove that.
huh?
Prove that.
Pick all of the sources. I've just given you like 10 sources that don't give any indication of metaphor or liturgical usage. I've
So
given
it's
you, like,
already
I've-
a common.
I've
It's
literally
already.
okay, hold on, let me show you.
Is the
So-
mustard seed a common
So
proverb? yes or no?
when we have Hilary of Poitiers,
Wait,
when you
is
have
the
Hil-
mustard seed a
when you-
common proverb? Yes or no?
excuse me?
Is the mustard seed being used quantitatively of size a common Jewish proverb?
Oh, we already
yes
granted
or
that.
no?
We already granted that, but I told you the reason
Okay,
they-
then that's a
I'm,
justification.
I'm telling you the reason. I'm telling you the reason they use the
That
proverb
is
is
a
because they believed
justification
it.
then.
They believed it.
That is prove it.
Look, read.
Yeah, I'm reading. Now prove
Read.
that that is not in reference to the Jewish proverb. That's what you have. That's what you're doing. You're asserting something, and I'm telling you to justify it. I've given a reason on why that is more probabilistically.
I'm telling you because unless
now you
were,
have got to justify
I'm telling
that
you
they're
because
not
if you were
using it as a proverb.
I'm telling you, it's on you to show that it was only understood hyperbolically. The sources that I'm showing you don't have any indication of hyperbole. You've just brought me sources that say the mustard seed is the smallest. So
Yeah,
you need to bring
yeah,
some
so-
sort of counter source. The only counter sources that we have, right, which are in my favor, you have, for example, Dioscorides, who says that the the purple orchid seed is smaller, and because this is rare and it's only used medicinally, we wouldn't expect the average person to know about it. All right, so this would be a common mistake, and I already told you because the difference is so minimal, we would expect that a first-century Jewish rabbi gets this info wrong rather than just assuming that he's actually God and he has some sort of hidden knowledge.
No, you actually made it worse than that. You made it to where no one in the ancient world could be aware that fig seeds are smaller than mustard seeds.
Does John, what's his name, Peter Christologos say it's the smallest of God's creatures?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
But
so
what? Like,
okay,
is
perfect.
he? Is he? Right now, is he the one
okay,
we're like
perfect.
debating about?
okay, perfect. So was it common belief to believe this was the smallest seed?
No,
Do you,
that's
have
not what
any,
we
do, you
said.
have, do you have any sources, any commoners, any common homilies
Yeah.
that reference this not being a literal belief? We also have,
Yeah,
by the
so-
way, this
so
isn't
you're
this
just
isn't the
begging.
only.
You're
let me mention
begging the
something.
question that it's.
This
literal.
is not the only place where
You're-
we
you're
see.
begging the
that
question that
gospel-
it's
I'm answering you. This is not the only.
I didn't
place
ask a
where-
question. What are you answering?
let me finish. I didn't finish speaking. Yeah. So this is not the only place where we see the gospel authors make these sorts of mistakes. For example, Mark gets the geography of Palestine wrong, and he also, Matthew as well, in his mentioning of the parable, he says that the mustard seed grows into a tree, a dendron, right? So we've already got a botanical mishap here. We wouldn't expect the gospel authors to be geniuses and to be measuring this small difference. Why? Because they make various mistakes on the geography already. So that's just going to be points in my favor.
No, this isn't going to be a mistake of the geography. So scholars note that this is actually in reference to like some typology in like the Old Testament. Now, when we look at scholars, so
No.
for example, let's ask this question.
Wait. Okay.
The
Would it be botanically correct? Would it be botanically?
One second.
Just 1 second. Would it be botanically correct to call it?
I was talking. Nope. I waited till you
Go
finished.
ahead. Good.
Yeah. So you said that I have no justification in order to say that this is a proverb. I've already given you where it is the case that it's a proverb. Now, let's just talk about the scholarship. The majority consensus of the scholarship in reference to Jesus's words here is that he is speaking proverbially, and it is that he is speaking phenomenologically. There's a conjunction there.
I gotta get my
Now,
charger.
it doesn't make it true. Wait a second. It doesn't make it true. I'm not giving like an argument from authority, but what we are going to say is that there is a justifying evidence and justifying principle that can be found in all these. Scholars who defend the non-literal are going to be Craig Bloomberg, R.T. France, Craig Keener, Joel Marcus, and the list goes on in reference to the scholarship. So for you to say that I'm not,
They don't say it's
presenting a
non-literal. They just say it was
justification-
commonly known
Wait a
in their
second.
literature.
Wait a second. Say what?
They don't say it's non-literal. They just say it was commonly understood in their literature.
Who doesn't say it's non-literal?
They don't say it's non-literal. They just say this was commonly understood to be the smallest
The
seed. Or it was
sources I cited don't say it's non-literal.
proverbially used. It was
The sources
proverbially.
The
Yes, they say it was
sources.
proverbially used.
Okay, it is proverbially used. That means I have
Yeah,
a
that doesn't-
justifying
Oh my
principle
God. That
of
doesn't
the
change.
proverb. Do
That
you
doesn't-
have a justifying principle without question begging of the literal sense of it?
Yeah, we don't have any sources at the time of Christ from any layman or
That's
even
an argument from silence, bro.
that they. Oh my God! When we read text, do we assume literal readings unless we have to assert a hyperbole or a parable or
No,
a
we
metaphor?
assume literal readings if we don't have prior justification. But I already
Okay,
told
okay,
you
okay,
we
perfect.
have
So
prior
what's the
justification.
what's the
Wait.
justification? What's
You
the
asked me. Now
justification?
you did ask me a question.
What's the justification
We have
they believe
prior
they knew about smaller seed?
justification that this is used in Jewish and in Greek literature. Do we not? You already agreed, so just say it again.
Yeah, I said because they believe it
Okay.
corresponds to reality.
Okay, so we have prior justification. Now you have to defend why it is the case that you think that that is their belief as a literal sense as it corresponds to reality. If we know it's a Jewish proverb, what evidence do you have that is going
I
to
said-
substantiate
oh
the
my
literal
God.
notion of it?
I said it's used in their literature to denote something small, but you haven't provided anything to show that
I'm
the common
saying,
person.
oh
Oh
my
my,
gosh,
oh my God! You're not listening, dude.
brother, you're not
You're
tracking.
not. You already agreed that we use a literal reading unless otherwise is justified. So you need to
And I
justify.
have a prior justification, correct?
What's the prior? Okay.
What's the prior justification
what's
for the
What's the
literalism?
justification that in their literature they didn't believe that this
Wait, I
corresponds
asked
to
you
reality?
first. What's the prior justification
I
for
already-
literalism?
No. You gotta answer my question. I said, what's the justification?
I asked
No.
I asked you.
What's
What is the prior
justification?
justification for literalism?
What's the justification? Because what's it called? Literal interpretation is already assumed unless we have reason to assume otherwise. So you're just saying that they mentioned
We
it
have
as being-
reason to assume. We have
No,
prior
you
justification.
don't,
You've already
bro.
conceded
No,
that.
Oh my God, no, you don't, because I already told you it's in their
You
literature.
did not
because-
concede we have prior justification?
Because I told you that we only have justification insofar as they believed it was the smallest seed, not that they believed it to be metaphorically or hyperbolically the smallest seed. You haven't given
No.
evidence of that.
Yes, I have. I've given.
You haven't.
So Craig Bloomberg, RT France, Craig Keenan,
I read it.
Will
Go ahead.
Marcus. These are all scholars that defend the non-literal use, and they do it in terms of
go ahead and
hyperbole.
read it, read
They
it.
do it. Wait, listen. They do it in terms of hyperbole. They do it in terms of the proverb. They do it in terms of phenomenology. They do it in reference to the elocution of Jesus's intent, which does not satisfy. It is not satisfied by a smaller seed that is sown, other than the mustard seed. This is why Jesus can be speaking literally, saying
Read it
a
for us.
true statement that is true in reference to it being a proverb.
Read the sources.
Now, I've read the sources.
Read them. Go ahead.
For a mustard seed, so let me read another one for you. RT France. For a mustard seed, proverbially tiny, is the smallest of all seeds. And he actually says this. This is what he calls you. This is not me calling you. This is RT France. For a mustard seed, proverbially tiny, is the smallest of all seeds. Only a pedant would worry about whether there are in fact any smaller seeds or spores in context. So let's just categorize the arguments here.
Okay,
Let's
okay,
do this
no- no-
chronologically. Let's
no
do this
prob-
because
okay, no
I want
problem.
to go chronologically really quick, okay?
Oh my God.
So,
Wait.
and then we're gonna move to
Is
the
that-
black
is
seed here in
that-
a little bit.
Okay.
So
Is
so
that
chronologically, okay.
Oh Lord. Is that okay?
Jesus-
Is that okay if the belief is a falsehood from you who believes Christ is God?
It wouldn't be a falsehood phenomenologically
Oh my
because the
Lord.
people
This
are
guy's- this guy's
using
not-
the mustard
this
seed
guy's not-
actively.
this
Do you
guy's
understand?
not-
For something
this
to be
guy's not
false,
tracking. You need
Brother.
to justify. You need to justify that
Or
they
is
had
hyperbole
more.
false?
You need to justify that they had more knowledge than what they're plainly stating, dude.
No,
You're the
is
one who needs to
hyper-
justify that. The evidence
is
in my
hyperbole
favor.
false? Is hyperbole a
Excuse me?
false statement? Is hyperbole a false statement?
No, that's what I'm saying. You need to prove that they didn't actually believe in it.
Hyperbole is
You-
not a false statement.
Sorry.
I'm going to ask again because I think
No,
your
I'm
mouth
saying
is
if
moving
you're
faster.
employing hyperbole, you're not lying.
Is
You're not lying.
hyperbole is
I'm saying if-
hyperbole
I'm
a
saying
false
if-
statement?
I'm saying if you employ hyperbole, you're not lying.
Okay, if you employ hyperbole, you are not lying. You're not saying a false statement. Okay, if you employ phenomenology, are you saying a false statement?
If they believe it to be true, then yes.
Okay, what if someone believes the hyperbole to be true?
Excuse me?
What if someone believes the hyperbole to be true? You said hyperbole is not a false statement, but then I asked you about phenomenology.
Well, it depends
and I
on the
said
con-
if
depends
they
on the
speak
context.
phenomenology, if they speak in reference to phenomenology,
It depends on the
then
context.
is it going to be the case that they're saying a false statement? You said yes if the people have a belief. So now I'm asking you, if the people have a belief and you use hyperbole, is it going to be the case that you're saying a false statement?
That depends on the context, and also that
Amen, brother.
That assumes that Christ didn't believe what he was plainly stating. That's what you're not tracking.
No, I've already given an argument for why he didn't believe
That's why
that.
you're
It has
not
nothing to do-
understanding.
Wait, I already gave an
What's
argument.
in their- oh my
I already
God,
gave an argument.
What's in their literature is what they already believe. This is what you're
Bro.
not understanding. This is what you're not
No,
understanding.
you just
So,
you,
okay,
you
hold
just
on, hold
buried
on.
yourself on
So
that.
if they
Because
said,
I asked you
blood by blood,
specifically.
blood by blood.
I
If
said,
they-
is
hold on,
hyperbole
brother, chill out,
is
let me speak.
hyperbole
If
going
they
to be
said-
a false statement?
If they believed that the earth was flat and Christ affirmed it because it was in their literature, would this be an issue?
Again, if it is the illocution, if hyperbole is being employed and phenomenology is being employed, it would not necessarily be an issue. Because it's not- it's not going to
So Christ
necessarily
could
be-
affirm a flat. So Christ could affirm a flat
Is,
earth.
I'll ask you again, is hyperbole by necessity a false statement?
Could Christ affirm a flat
Is,
earth?
listen, is hyperbole by necessity a false statement?
No. Answer. I asked you first. Could Christ affirm a flat earth?
Listen, I already told you, illocutionary. What, you're asking the same question. Are you lost?
Oh my God, bro.
What part of this
Oh my
is
God.
hyperbole a
Just-
false statement? Yes or
okay,
no?
so just because it's in their literature,
I answered
then
your
Christ
question. Is
justified
hyperbole a
for
false
repeating it.
statement? Is
Hyperbole-
hyperbole by necessity a false statement?
Okay, I'm gonna answer this. You're gonna answer me.
I just answered you.
Yeah, I told you. So
It's illocutionary dependent.
yeah, I'm telling you, it's context
It
dependent.
doesn't necessitate a false statement, does it?
It depends on the context.
Exactly. So it doesn't necessitate a false statement.
Okay,
You
so
buried
what?
yourself.
What?
You buried yourself.
What demonstrates?
It doesn't necessitate.
Oh
It
my
depends
God.
on context.
What?
So when
demonst-
Jesus
what
says
demonstrates-
something about a flat table
Dude,
or something
what
about a flat earth,
demonstrates-
guess what?
You're
It
so-
doesn't
you're so confused.
necessitate a
What
falsehood.
demonst-
That's a
what de-
concession.
What demonstrates that it's hyperbole? Go ahead.
See, I told you.
What
No,
demonstrates?
no. Now you're trying to change the question. You just
What the-
conceded.
No. Answer the question.
You
haven't
just
been- you haven't-
conceded.
You haven't answered this whole time. What demonstrates it's a hyperbole? Go ahead.
My argument isn't that
why
he-
does Matthew?
My
why does,
argument.
why does
listen,
Matthew? Why do Matthew and Luke omit it?
my argument is not that Jesus is using hyperbole. Have you been listening?
Oh, so he's not using hyperbole?
Phenomenology is distinct from hyperbole.
Oh my.
A Jew. Wait. Okay.
goodness.
Let's just see
Oh
if
my
you know
goodness.
simple
Okay,
categories.
could
Is
the
a
God-
Jewish
could
proverb
the
distinct
God-
from a
could the God-
hyperbole?
Could the
Is a
God
Jewish
of-
proverb
could-
distinct from hyperbole?
Listen. Could the
Wait.
God of? Could
No,
the
I asked you a
God of
question.
the-
Is Jewish
All right,
proverb
wait, guys,
distinct from hyperbole?
guys. I
That's
think
so
you're
bad.
like both speaking over each other. So
Okay.
Who-
I answered your.
We
I
gotta
answered
go
your
to the.
question.
We
Okay,
gotta go
so-
to the black seat after this.
Is a
one of-
Jewish proverb is a
one-
Jewish
one sec,
proverb distinct from
Bye-bye.
hyperbole?
1 second. I need one of you to ask a question, and then the other responds, gives the answer, and then the other asks a question, and the other responds.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'll make it a two-part. Is a proverb distinct from hyperbole, and is hyperbole distinct from phenomenology?
Yeah, sure.
So they're all distinct.
Yeah.
So the entire argument that I've given you is in reference to a proverb and is in reference to phenomenology. When did I ever say Jesus used hyperbole?
You've been talking about hyperbole, brother. Oh my God, you said, is hyperbole a false statement? Are you slow? You literally asked that question because you believe
That's
Christ
not the
is making
position
a
I
hyperbole in
presented.
Mark. You're not paying attention. So
That's not the position I
okay,
presented, King.
Okay, perfect. So
That's never been the position I presented.
What's the No, we heard you, brother. We all heard you. You were trying to insert a hyperbole into Mark 4:30 to 31. Now listen.
No.
What is the
Proverb, phenomenology.
What you're backtracking,
Those two
brother.
things.
We caught you. You're backtracking. All right.
Okay,
Now,
I'm backtracking. Here, wait.
What is the justification? Oh my God, bro. You want to answer?
No, keep talking.
Central, brother. He said he would answer
Keep
my
talk-
question.
keep
He's not
talking.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Keep
trying. I'm trying my
All
best not to jump in.
right.
But I think he answered your question.
right.
Yeah.
Katie,
Yeah, no,
ask
no.
a question,
Okay,
please,
so-
and then he can respond.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So, if something is found within literature which is false, and Christ affirms it on the apparent to be true, would this be an issue for Christ's divinity? Like the flat Earth example. Like the flat Earth.
Give me 1
example.
second. Give me 1 second.
I need to answer.
I will answer your question. Keep your question. But I
Lord.
want to show you. Yeah, I want to show you something.
Hey man, we planting you into the soil of Judah right now, man.
Not
You don't
even
know
a
what
little
to do,
bit.
man. I don't know what to do.
I told you had to survive the conversation without conceding, and you conceded like more than once.
Oh yeah, man. I'm the one who conceded when you said Christ could affirm
Okay.
a flat Earth.
So you're saying that I was defending. Wait, you're saying I was defending that Jesus was speaking in hyperbole, yeah?
Yep.
if you simply read my notes here, the dominant scholarly view is Jesus is speaking. Wait, no, listen, watch. What? Look, no, look. You said I was defending hyperbole. I'm showing you. Don't panic. Don't panic.
What are we doing, man? What is this?
Don't panic. You said that I was defending hyperbole. Show me in this sentence, right, where I use hyperbole in reference to my defense. It's a proverb in conjunction, right? Here, I'll even highlight it for you. Is a common Jewish proverb in conjunction with phenomenological language and agricultural conventions.
Okay, perfect.
My defense has never been built on hyperbole.
Thank you, brother. Did you ask me if
Yeah, thank you.
hyperboles are falsehoods? Yes or no?
Yes, because you are saying that in
okay,
reference.
Okay, perfect. So you
But
were
that's
asking
not the
about-
position
You were
I hold.
asking about hyperboles in reference to the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, man. So you
Yeah.
showing me your notes
But the
doesn't do anything.
hyperbole is
You
not
try-
my
you try-
position.
and you started the conversation.
Hyperbole
by saying-
is in
by the-
reference.
By the way, guys, pay attention.
Wait.
By the way, no, brother, let me finish. You pay it.
You
guys,
asked me a
everyone,
question. You
pay
asked me a
attention.
question.
At the beginning of the
You
conversation.
asked me a question. Let me answer.
No, I didn't. Let me speak.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. Let me speak.
Do you know
At
where
the
you are?
begin-
You asked
Let
me
me
a
speak,
question.
bro. Stop interrupting, brother. Let me.
Can I answer the question, Central?
Let me finish, bro. Let me finish. What are you
guys.
doing? All right.
Can I answer the
So
question,
you
Central?
began blood by blood. You
But,
began this
King
conversation.
Dawa, ask your question and then let him respond.
Yeah, can I answer the question?
Let him rephrase it, like so everyone can.
You asked at the very beginning of the conversation, or sorry, you said at the very start of the conversation that Christ could have been employing hyperbole. Then you just went on a 20-minute tangent about hyperboles, and now you're saying, because you realize the grammar doesn't make sense, it would be ridiculous. Now you're
No.
saying, oh, well, look, it's not in
It's
my
not
notes.
that it doesn't-
Brother,
it's
you're
just not my
backtracking
position.
because you got caught. You got caught.
It has nothing to do with being caught. The position I've defended. The scholars. There are scholars who defend hyperbole. That is distinct from my position defending Jewish
The very
proverbs
first
and
thing you asked was
phenomenology.
about it being a hyperbole.
So, wait a second. Now, let's just break this down, and then we can move for the next hour into the Black Sea, because I think we're going in circles.
Yeah, go ahead.
So let's break this down a piece at a time, because I want to make sure that this is thoroughly destroyed. So first off, in reference to the Earth claim, right, the smallest seed in all the Earth, you agree that it is going to be the case that the Earth there does not necessitate the whole planet, but it can be in reference to semantic range, correct?
Yeah, can be the land.
Can the semantic range be directly connected to the hearers that Jesus is speaking to and the land that Jesus is speaking on?
Yeah, the land that Jesus is speaking on, which he would be saying a falsehood about.
Okay, it wouldn't be a falsehood.
Jesus could say that this is the very smallest seed on the very soil my sandals are standing on, and he'd still be wrong. Why? Because we have significantly smaller seeds in Israel. This is the point you're not getting. And this is why you're buried now, because we already gave you the example of the flat earth analogy. So, if there is something in Jewish literature which is a clear falsehood scientifically, and it's affirmed as a fact by Christ, this would be problematic because Christ would either be lying or he'd be ignorant. Thank you.
Okay, so lying or ignorant, okay? This is what you're presenting as your dilemma. Let's address this first. He's either lying or he's ignorant. Is that a true dichotomy?
Here, yep.
Huh?
Yep.
Lying or ignorant is a true dichotomy to which there's no third possible option.
Go ahead, give the other option.
Yeah,
If you
I
say
just said
hyperbole,
it.
if you say hyperbole, you're cooked.
No. Is a Jewish proverb possible?
A Jewish proverb. Okay, so
Yeah,
I already
wait,
answered this.
where
He
he's
keeps
speaking
asking me-
phenomenology, is
Oh
it
my God,
possible?
brother, he keeps asking me the same question. He's not paying attention. I already told you it's understood in their literature to be the smallest seed.
No, I'm asking.
That doesn't mean that. Oh my God, that doesn't mean that Christ can affirm it to be a fact. The same way you said. I mean,
No, I'm
I would
asking.
have hoped. I would have hoped you said that Christ affirming a flat Earth would be problematic, but you didn't. So you said I would be fine. So they're gonna fry you into a cheeseburger after this, brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's not even close. So you didn't address my question at all. I asked whether it's possible. I'm not asking whether you believe it. I'm asking now in reference to possibility. You said lying or ignorant is a true dichotomy. Brother, that's not even a true dichotomy as it pertains to normal conversations, right?
All right, go ahead. Give us the options.
Okay, So when
I'm breaking it down. I'm showing you why it can't.
no,
be
listen. When we are talking about the options on the table and we're saying a true dichotomy, that's saying it is exhaustive, which it excludes all other possible options. Now, is it possible that Jesus is not ignorant and he's purely speaking phenomenologically and he's not speaking literally? Is it possible?
In this sentence, no.
Okay, what's the logical contradiction?
Oh my God, dude, we're not talking about logical contradiction. We're talking about textual
What do you
interpretation.
think I mean? What do you think I mean by possibility?
I'm talking about textual interpretation here.
No. When you present the dichotomy, and you give these options, right? You're saying it's logically exhaustive, correct?
No, I'm not saying logically exhaustive.
Okay, so it's not logically exhaustive.
Yeah, anything's possible.
So
Listen,
it's-
if
okay.
blood by blood, if I read a text which is talking about John walking to the street, I could interpret that to be talking about aliens on Mars. That just because it's possible logically doesn't mean it's plausible. So
Yeah,
that's
but
that's the domain of impossibility I'm referring to right now. So you need to pay attention.
Okay, so in what sense are you using the dilemma in terms of possibility?
I'm saying
Interpretive possibility?
I'm saying I'm saying that it's so improbable that it's practically impossible.
Oh, okay. So why do the majority of scholars not take your position then? If it's so, if this is not a viable third option, no, one sec. If it is I'm gonna ask it very directly. If this is not a viable third option, why does the majority of scholarship hold to it, and they do not hold to your literal use of a botanical lesson?
Yeah. So the majority of scholarship doesn't believe that Christ was educated. That's why, for example, you can see in the 5 Gospels by Robert Funk in the Jesus Seminar, they say that Christ was likely illiterate and he lacked education. So them saying that Christ was simply stating something that was commonly known in the literature, that's not problematic if you don't believe Christ is God. It is problematic if you do believe Christ is God.
Are you going to actually answer the question I asked?
That is my answer. So you asked me
Not
why.
even a little bit.
You asked me why do the scholars say this? I told you.
No. That's I asked specifically. I said, how is it not a viable option?
I answered.
If the majority of scholarship holds to it. No, you just brought up another irrelevant. You brought up something entirely irrelevant.
I answered you. I said, because Christ would simply be affirming something which is known in their literature, and this would not be problematic if Christ, is not God. It would be problematic if Christ is God.
This doesn't answer the question.
It does answer, brother. This guy's not paying attention.
No, you're actually not tracking. I'm going to repeat it slowly.
Oh my Lord.
If the majority of scholarship, according to the Greek, according to the Jewish proverb, according to a non-literal, here, I'll just ask it this way, since you weren't tracking.
So it's a hyperbole, right?
Is it a majority consensus?
Wait, so it's a hyperbole. Wait,
no, watch this. Is the majority consensus?
So it's hyperbole?
Don't cut me off.
No,
Don't run.
Wait,
Don't run.
it's not literal, so it's it's not literal, so it's hyperbole, right?
Don't run.
It's hyperbole?
Listen, is the majority consensus?
Wait. I gotta
cutting me off.
It's not literal, so it's what? It's not literal, so it's what?
It's not literal in the sense that it's being used as like a botanical lesson. That's it. Now watch this. Is it the case? Watch. I don't know why you're laughing.
It's Rams.
Is it the case? Pay attention.
It's Rams. We back at hyperbole, man. I thought I was looking at your notes.
Pay attention. Watch this.
Where the notes at, man?
Is it the case? Wait.
Why you
is it the case that the majority of scholars hold to a non-literal in the sense of Jesus is teaching a botanical lesson? Yes or no?
Yeah, so I already answered this question. You're going to ask me 4 more times. I'm going to keep
No, you did not answer it even once. I want a yes or a no.
I told you.
No, and then expound. Yes or no, then expound.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Yes or no, then expound.
Oh my God. I'm not giving you a yes or no answer, brother.
Excuse me? It's a yes or no question.
Oh my God. Dude.
Is it the case that the majority of scholars hold to the non-literal interpretation in the sense that Jesus is teaching a botanical lesson? Okay, yes perfect. Or no, then expound.
Perfect. I got you. No, because they believe that Christ is ignorant of the fact, and he's simply repeating what is in the literature. So with them, so let me finish.
That's great. That's great.
So them saying that Christ can affirm something which is found in the literature but is not true. or is not exhaustive is fine. Should they believe that Christ isn't God? If they do believe Christ is God, then this would be an issue. So go ahead.
No.
Deal with my answer.
Why would that be an issue?
That would be an issue because it was understood in their text to be the smallest seed. So Christ would be affirming a common falsehood. And you already agreed that
No, why would it be an issue that they think they believe Jesus is God?
You already agreed that it's not hyperbolic, and then you slipped, you tried to go back to it, you got belted on that as well. So if it's not hyperbolic, and it's a repetition of what's already in the literature, Christ would simply just be affirming a common falsehood. Thank you.
No. Pay attention. When you say that Jesus is speaking in this sense, and he's speaking in a literal, you just said that the majority of scholars hold to the fact that Jesus is teaching a botanical lesson. And then you made a real big boo-boo, is you said that it's a problem if they believe Jesus is divine. Now, I want you to justify why it would be a problem if scholars are interpreting this as a Jewish proverb or phenomenological language, or if they're interpreting it as hyperbole, regardless like how the scholars are using it, why it would be a problem for them to do that because like they believe Jesus is divine. Why is that an issue?
Wait, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. He keeps asking me the same question, man. This is
Right, I just want to let you guys know you're about an hour and 10 minutes into this open dialogue.
All right, we'll move on to the black seed after this. Is going to be good. But just give me one.
You hear?
Just 1 sec. All right. So, again, I'm going to answer your question.
So anyway,
The reason it would be problematic for Christ to affirm the statement found within their literature,
wait,
phenomenological.
answer the first question. I asked to answer the first question
Bro,
first.
this guy is silly, bro. You asked me the
Answer the
question. Let me answer, dude. What are you doing?
Okay, here's the question. The question, because I don't think you remember. The question I asked, just to confirm, it is your position that you think the majority of scholarship is of the opinion that Jesus is teaching a literal botanical lesson.
No, okay, so like I said, the majority of scholars believe that Christ is just repeating what's found in their literature, and this would not be problematic if Christ wasn't God. This would be problematic if Christ is God. And this is why I gave you the flat earth example. This is why I gave you the gorilla example, and you're just not dealing with it. So now, I'm going to ask you a question, because you keep asking me the same question, and I just keep giving you the same answer. What distinguishes Christ affirming a falsehood versus him just appealing to the common understanding of the people? What would make this problematic for you? Could Christ say that the Earth is the center of the universe because it's something they believed, and that'd be not problematic for Christianity?
Yeah, if you're distinguishing a falsehood, then the illocutionary intent would be that Jesus is intending to say something false, or that he is ignorant, right? But it's also going to be the case. There's another option. Wait, there's a third option. What do you mean?
That's not answering. Oh my God.
There's a third option.
That's
Wait a
not
second.
answering the question.
No, I just gave you the two parts of your dilemma, but there's also going to be a third option. The third option is when it is going to be in reference to the falsity that Jesus is saying, right? If you're going to say that he's not God and therefore he doesn't know this thing, and this falsity is going to be something that is deliberately going to be confusing people that leads them to some negative consequence, then you would say that there's some sort of issue. But that's not the case. Okay. So when you asked me a question,
you didn't answer.
We're going question for question.
I
answered just fine. I answered just fine.
You didn't answer anything I just said.
I did answer it. You said what is going to be the distinction? I'll still man your question.
I said to you, just because they believe it, does that justify him? Oh my God. Does that justify?
You asked about the distinction.
Does that justify him affirming it?
That was not your question.
Without any qualification, right?
Your question. That was not your question. Your question was a distinction.
Let me finish.
Between
without
the two.
Christ, listen. Without Christ giving any.
Your question was the distinction between.
Yo, this guy keeps interrupting.
You asked for that.
Someone catch. Yo.
You don't remember your own question.
What are we doing?
Okay, guys. All right. King, please ask the question again, and then bye.
Okay.
Please give an answer.
Okay. Without any qualification from Christ and from the plain reading of the text, he's affirming something which is found in the literature, which is clearly false. Would this be problematic for Christianity? And I gave you the example.
Without any qualification.
Without Christ qualifying it.
So you're basically just asking me, if Jesus is speaking literally in a botanical lesson, would it be a problem? Yeah, if that's the case, but it's not.
Okay. Did we go over? Okay, and you said it's
not.
not.
That's a silly question.
Okay, perfect. And you said it's not a hyperbole.
Wait, no.
And
You asked me. Now I'm gonna ask you.
And you said it's not a hyperbole.
No. It's question for question.
Wait, is it
question
hyperbole?
for question?
Is it hyperbole?
It's question for question.
No, answer.
No, it's not hyperbole.
It's not.
That's not my position.
It's over. It's over, bro. It's done.
It's not my position. That's hyperbole.
Bro. It's done. Okay, it's not hyperbole.
Do you know where you are?
It's not a hyperbole. It comes from their literature.
It's not
they
hyperbole.
believe it to be true, and Christ affirms it.
It's not hyperbole. No, listen.
We planted
Bro,
you in Judah, baby. We planted you in Judah,
This is so stupid.
Man. Smallest of all seas, baby.
It's not hyperbole. It is not hyperbole.
It's not hyperbole.
It's not my position. But it is not problematic upon a qualifier. Your stupid question was to say if Jesus says this. No, watch this. Your dumb question was to say if Jesus says something unqualified. Is my position that Jesus says something unqualified, Dawa?
Where is it qualified in the text?
Answer my question. Is my position that Jesus says it unqualified?
You haven't presented any evidence that it's qualified.
Listen, track. You said the question you asked me was if Jesus says something unqualified, is it an issue? No, lock in. Is Jesus says something unqualified, is it an issue? And I said, yes, if it is unqualified. I'll ask you again, is my position that Jesus is saying something unqualified, Dawa?
Okay, perfect. No, however, your qualification doesn't solve the issue. Your qualification causes more problems.
You ain't never planted nothing in your life with those soft hands. Are you kidding me?
You're so
silly.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God. If the qualification is that it's something that they commonly believed, which we agree to, and it's not hyperbolic, then it has to be literal. You don't know. So that
because
it's
literal as a proverb. Literal as
this guy doesn't
repeat after me.
Bro,
literal.
Your interpretation is what's better.
As a proverb. Literal as a proverb. It is literal
as a proverb. Listen to this guy.
It is literally the smallest of seeds proverbially. Did you not remember me saying that earlier?
Okay, demonstrate that they had further knowledge. Go ahead.
Is that a problem? Is there a problem with my position of it being literal and it being a proverb because it is literally the smallest of proverbial seeds? Is there an issue with that?
There will be an issue, yes.
Okay, what's the issue?
I already told you, if they believe that this statement about the mustard seed corresponds to reality, then it would be problematic, yes. The same way, if Christ affirms that the earth is... The same way, if the Christ... Okay, I'm going to ask you one more time. If the Jays believe that the earth was flat in their literature and it was used in their proverbs, yet Christ affirmed it, would it be an issue?
I'm just going to say, I'm going to talk about context again. I'm going to talk about elocutioning.
Would it be an issue?
I'm not gonna change the answer.
No.
It's in reference to elocution.
If
it is not an issue
in their common
reference to elocution.
No. Oh no!
It is not an issue
in their
reference
literature.
To
oh no! This is so bad. In their literature,
I've
if
answered
they believe
this.
the earth was flat, and they said
we've
that
answered
every
this
day.
question 5 times.
Hey, Rabbi Ben Yosef, the earth is flat. Yes, Rabbi Ben Joseph, I agree. If they did this and they actually believed it to be true, and Christ affirmed it, would it be problematic?
If they are speaking unqualified in a literal sense.
Where's the qualification?
My position, wait a second. But my position is not that it's unqualified.
Where's the qualification?
I've already given the qualification in reference to Jesus.
It's just
over and over and over.
All you showed is that it's in their text. You haven't shown anywhere that they actually didn't believe it. That's why I gave you 2 church fathers who say that it's the smallest of all things.
You begged the question.
No, dude.
Question begging all day.
All right, bought by blood. When you read text, do we first assume hyperbole or do we first assume literal interpretation unless otherwise justified? Go ahead.
Yeah, if otherwise justified, guess what? Then we have a principle in which we can gauge the probability. The
Okay.
justification is that there are other texts that talk about the quantity and the size of a mustard seed that is used in Jewish and Greek texts. What I asked of you 10 years ago was for the justifying principle that is separate from the text that employs literalism.
All right.
You
So
failed.
What's the evidence that they had?
No, answer the question.
What's the evidence that
What's
they
the
had?
justifying
You didn't ask me a
principle of the
question.
literalism?
Oh my God! Listen, what's the justification?
What's the justifying principle of the literalism?
What's the justification that
Brother,
they had fervor
what
knowledge
is the
of
justifying principle
this
of the literalism?
this 4 millimeter difference? What's the justification?
What is the justifying principle of the literalism?
Okay, you already agreed with me. You told me that we take a literal reading of the text unless justified. So you already agreed to that.
And guess what? I have a justification of the Jewish proverb
You're muted.
in other texts. So I have a justification.
Okay.
I'm
Where
begging
from the
you,
text-
for the
where
love
from the
of all
text-
that's holy,
where from the
give
text-
me a justification
Oh my God,
for the
blah, blah, blah.
literalism
Blah,
without
blah, blah.
question begging.
Show me where is the qualification? Where is the demonstration?
I've already given that.
Where is the demonstration?
Nope.
Where is?
Give
Listen,
me the
listen.
justification
Where
for the
is-
literalism.
Where can you demonstrate from their text that they didn't believe this to be true? Go
Give
ahead.
me the justification for the literalism.
You agreed that texts are taken literally unless justified. You already agreed with that, and you said.
Did I
that,
give a justification?
Oh, well, it's,
And
no,
guess
no,
what?
no,
I
no,
gave a
no. You
justifying
said,
principle,
oh, well, it's
right?
found in their text. Well, I'm questioning what's found in their text, so that's a big fat circle, just like this mustard seed behind me.
And
brother.
I gave
so
a
you're
just,
gonna,
and I gave.
So go ahead. So go ahead.
Wait,
And by the way,
it's a big
this is-
fat
this is
circle like the
this is
mustard seed.
second-
So the
this-
mustard
this-
seed's not the smallest of all
this is-
seeds.
This is the second.
It's a
this
big
is the-
fat circle.
You're funny, man. This is the second.
Oh yeah, you cooked
This is
yourself.
this
there
is
with
the
that one.
this is the
Gotta work on your rhetoric a
second.
little bit.
This is the second. All right, man. I'll take rhetoric advice from you, blood by blood. I'm gonna shave that goatee when I catch you. Now listen.
Why do you Muslims constantly want to touch my face?
Oh my! I'll be doing the world. a
Why
favor.
do you want
Let
to
me-
touch
let me-
my
let
face?
me-
That
let
is
me- let me
gay.
ans- Let me answer. Let
It
me
is
answer.
gay to want to shave my face.
Guys, come on.
All right. So
Why do
So-
Muslims always want to touch me? Libiano wants me to lick his feet and eat his butt. You want to touch my face and shave my beard? All of these things are problematic.
Come on, guys.
bro, what are we doing, man? Yo.
Anyway, all right. So how about this? All right,
Hey, yo, what?
you.
That shit caught me off guard. All right,
Let's just do this. We've been talking for a minute.
Hey, man,
Before we move
Libiano
on to the
mentioned
black
already.
seed.
All right,
Wait one second.
Libiano-
Before we move to
Libiano
the black
mentioned
seed.
after an hour. All right, now let me answer.
Yeah, before we move to the black seed.
So
let's just
do
do
you
this.
agree?
One sec.
Hold on. Do you agree?
Before we move to the
We'll
black
go to the
seed.
black seed. We'll go to the black seed. I got you.
Well, no. I'm saying something.
Do you
Before
agree
we
that
move
a
to the black
literal
seed,
reading
wait,
is taken-
just listen, lock in. Before we move to the black seed, okay, let's just do this. Like a 1 to 2 minute overview, uninterrupted. Me first, then you, then we'll move to the black seed. Good.
Okay, but I want to ask you one last question.
Okay. I told you get to. So, all right, if you get one more question, like who decides who gets one more question?
So you guys are
I
about
think
an
it's better
hour.
to just leave it.
You're an hour and 20 minutes in. If you got okay, I'll let you guys ask each other one question, and I'll give you guys 1 minute on the dot to respond. So, Bye, if you have a question that you want to ask him, ask the question. He'll respond uninterrupted, and then I'll give you the same opportunity as well. Is that cool?
Yeah, sounds good.
Sure.
All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Well, I'm asking the question, right?
Go ahead.
Sure. Okay. When you ask the question, Bye, I'll give you a full minute to respond.
All right. From the literature that we have, what's the justification to believe that the statement about the mustard seed being the smallest isn't literal? In Talmud, in church father commentaries, all the other sources I presented.
Yeah, for the exact same argument I gave. The moment you say that there's other seeds that are cultivated, like if you want to talk the poppy seeds, if you want to talk the fig seeds, your argument is that these were cultivated in ancient Israel, which means not just for Jesus, but for the Jews as well, they would be aware of smaller things than the mustard seed. That is just going to be the higher probability because guess what? It is cultivated in the land that they live. And so if they're sowing different seeds, a farmer's going, he sows a mustard seed. A farmer goes, and poppy seeds aren't really sown in the same sense. Fig seeds are somewhat sown. If a farmer is sowing these things, guess what? They're going to be able to observationally tell a difference. The probability favors me the moment you said that poppy seeds, fig seeds, and these other seeds are cultivated in the same land. They're going to be familiar with it. So the justifying principle is going to be that if they are familiar with seeds and things that are smaller than a mustard seed, then they are not going to be saying that it is the smallest thing in all creation in the sense that is non-proverbial, that is non-phenomenological. It's just going to be in reference to the same thing that I gave in reference to like the roller coaster, which I don't think there was an accurate response to. So,
Bye-bye. I gave you a minute 30, basically. So you can ask him a question now. I'll give him the same. A minute, 27 seconds, uninterrupted as well.
okay. Yeah, let's just do this. If it is the case that you agree that it is going to be context dependent, I want you to give me the symmetry breaker between my analog and Jesus specifically. So the analog that I gave, I'll read it again. If we're at Disney World and I say, let's go ride the Everest roller coaster, it is the largest roller coaster of all the roller coasters, right? And I'm saying this as a contextual superlative. Then you agree it's context. Give me the symmetry breaker between these things. I just want to make my question clear.
I got you.
One second. Give me the symmetry breaker between this. Jesus is standing in the land of Israel. You are standing in the park. Jesus says that the mustard seed is the smallest of seeds. I am saying in the park that the roller coaster is the largest of the roller coasters. When we have that in reference, what is the symmetry breaker if both of them are contextually dependent?
All right, perfect. There is no symmetry breaker. However, the problem is, even if Christ is speaking to a fixed domain, he's still wrong. So I don't think you're tracking the argument. You use the example of Disney World. I use the example of Judah, which you already agreed would be the domain that Christ is speaking about. If Christ is speaking about that domain, he'd still be factually incorrect. So I don't think you understand. I don't think you even understand what's happening here. So this is really embarrassing.
I don't understand what just happened, but you said there's no symmetry breaker.
Guys, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All right, so
This is terrible.
King, you had another full minute. I don't know if you want it.
No, it's fine. It's just he's not tracking because we already granted him that it's about this. We already granted it's about this domain.
All right, so let's do this. So to review, now we're going to go into the black seed. Okay. Now I'm not presenting this as a dilemma because I do not think the options are going to be exhaustive.
Wait, Bob, I'm
It's
sorry
in
to
the same
interrupt.
way.
Did you guys want to do the 1 minute overview of what you guys were just talking about,
We can go into the next one.
or do you want to just jump right into this next?
I don't mind.
The black
Yeah,
seed
we can
thing?
do the overview. So
I was gonna say, 'cause that's-
I start you in because I started the debate.
Because that's what you guys said before the question thing. So
Yeah. So
all right.
here's the overview. This is what absolutely destroys the mustard seed dilemma. So a couple of things that I didn't actually get into. When we look at Mark, when we look at Matthew, when we look at Luke. Actually, listen. Let's do this because you made a point earlier that I wanted to address that I just remembered. So we can have a dialogue for just a second before we do the 1 minute, okay? Because I want, and you can even ask me another question. You good with that?
Yeah, go ahead, man. I can do
Yeah.
one more.
So you said that Matthew changes Mark because you hold to Markian priority in the same sense, right? Matthew is copying from Mark, right? And you said that Matthew changes Mark, correct?
Yeah, and he makes another mistake as well.
Yeah, so here's the problem. Matthew actually leaves it as a simpliciter. He doesn't change it. In fact, it's worse in the Greek. Because what you're wanting to say is in Mark, where it says all is the smallest seed upon the entire earth, right? And we agreed that there's a semantic range there. That means that semantic range closes the domain. But in Matthew, there's no qualifier, which means when it says it's the smallest of all seeds, it lacks something. that is going to close the domain. If it lacks something that closes the domain, then it's not the case that Matthew is attempting to change Mark.
You want me to respond?
Yeah. So really,
Okay, guys.
Let me
So
respond to that.
so Bob by
He didn't even ask me a question. He didn't even ask me a question.
I know, but okay. So Bob by he just let you go uninterrupted. Let him respond to that uninterrupted, and then let's get into the new segment because we're like almost 2 hours into this now.
All right. Yeah,
All right.
so very simply, I don't think Bought by Blood understands what perception criticism is. So what I'm pointing out when I say that Matthew changes it, the reason this is problematic is because grammatically the stronger reading is that it is the smallest of all seeds on earth rather than soil or land. The reason I mention this is because we've got the mention of Jess or Gi, which is the word for earth, and it's mentioned twice. Now, because mentioning earth twice wouldn't make sense, or soil twice wouldn't make sense, it has literary weakness. The earliest reception of this verse was that it is the smallest of all seeds sown on the soil, and the smallest of all seeds on earth. So the first statement he says is soil, and then the next time he uses G is for earth. That's why we have Saint Cyril. That's why we have Hilary of Poitiers. That's why we have what's his name? Peter Chrysologus, who all say that Christ's statement here was referring to the earth. So Matthew would have interpreted it to mean the world or the earth as well, and that's why he took it out. So that's the simple answer to that. So I only granted you the soil part because I'm Muslim and I'm charitable. Yeah, good.
Okay. Yes. All right. So, all right, we can just move into the 1 minute thing. So I'll do it, and then you can do it. So, yeah, for the audience watching, we're getting ready to move into the second part. He already conceded multiple times on the first part in reference to the probability. So he did not justify why it's going to be more probable to be the case that the set of ancient Jews at this time would be unaware that the fig seed is smaller than a mustard seed. Because I don't know if you know this, but when you eat a fig, you cannot avoid eating the seeds. There are 300 to 1,600 different seeds in the fig. So the argument I gave that absolutely destroys this argument is just this. P1, if it is more probable Jesus is consciously aware of the size of fig seeds, it's more probable Jesus is speaking non-literally of the size of mustard seeds. P2, it is more probable that Jesus is consciously aware of fig seeds, which means he's consciously aware of a smaller seed than the mustard seed. So when he says the mustard seed, he's using a Jewish proverb and the phenomenological language that is going to be relevant agriculturally to the people that are listening. And they're going to be paying attention to this. And the point that solidifies this is because in the beginning of Mark, he says that he speaks in mysteries. Those mysteries are going to be theological. But then later on in Mark,
essentially, he's going for like 2 minutes.
You can go as much as
how long is it?
He said
I'll finish. This is the last statement.
You guys agreed up to 2 minutes. That's why I didn't say anything.
All right, sweet.
Yeah. So this is the last statement. Jesus in the beginning of Mark said that he speaks to them in mysteries, but he reveals it to his disciples, which means what he's revealing is the theological implication. But guess what? He says later on in Mark that he speaks to the people as far as they were able to hear it, which means he's not speaking in mysteries in that sense, but rather he is speaking in phenomenological language to where the observer and the listener, they are able to understand what he is saying, at least on a basic level, even if they don't understand on a theological level. So if Jesus is aware of smaller seeds than a mustard seed, then the argument dies.
All right. Time. Katie, on you. You got up to 2 minutes to summarize the debate you just had. Go ahead.
All right, just give me 1 second, bro. Just gotta step inside. Hold on. Okay. Give me just 1 moment, guys.
Hey, good discussion, guys.
Thanks, man. Yeah, and I appreciate the talk with BBL as well. Sorry, bro. BBB, and the following conversation for the Black Sea. This should be fun. So I'm keen to get into it. But anyway, so I'm gonna finish with my closing statement. So, you guys chill out in the comments. So, BBB has pretty much conceded every point here. He said that Christ is not speaking hyperbolically. Okay, well, if he's not speaking hyperbolically and he's speaking literally, then the dilemma follows. Christ was either lying or ignorant. So that's something that he didn't deal with. He tried to say that it isn't hyperbolic, then he said it is hyperbolic. It was kind of upsetting to watch. Also, he said that, well, look, because Christ has the fig seeds available to him, it's more likely that he would have knowledge of the very minute 0.5 millimeter difference, which is practically empirically unverifiable until you give strong examination. So that's why I gave 3, 4, 5 different sources which say, and they received this verse and they understood this verse to be talking about smallest of seeds on earth, smallest of things that God ever created, because the difference is so minute that to the average commoner who wouldn't have been botanically inclined, they would have believed this to be the smallest of all seeds. So he didn't deal with the reception criticism. He didn't deal with the fact that 5 different church fathers and saints all interpreted my way, but we're supposed to take BBL's interpretation. He didn't deal with the literary problem if you take this verse hyperbolically. And he also said that if Christ had affirmed that the earth was flat, plainly because it was in their literature, then it wouldn't be problematic. So pretty much anytime a Christian brings an argument against Islam, feel free, guys, to just say, oh, well, we believe it to be true, so therefore it's true. So that's pretty much my closing statement, and we can get into the black seed thing.
Only thing I'm going to ask moving forward, KD, to be fair, he's not like being rude or insulting. So moving forward, can we not say BBL, please? Just
no, it's
say
actually an accident. I don't mean to. My mistake, bro.
Because he is being very, very, like, you know, nice. So
yeah, my mistake, bro. I actually didn't mean to.
No worries.
Sorry,
no worries.
I don't take offense.
No, I mean, I just want to be fair, bro. That's it.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So moving into the black seed, we'll do 2 to 5 minutes again. You good with that?
Yeah, sounds good. Just give me, bro, if you can give me just 1 second to get like my charger cord. I'm just gonna sit like on the couch. Just give me 1 second. Guys, I might just need 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 second.
Type of discussions we need to be promoting. This is really, I think this was very nice.
Central, this is why I get so pissed off at people who say I blaspheme.
Yeah, no, you haven't you haven't said anything, bro. I haven't had to come off of mute at all for like either of you.
No, and yeah, he's not doing it either. But yeah, again, I say to any Muslim that says I blaspheme, I present arguments. I don't need to blaspheme. I think that's actually weaker than actually just breaking it down.
Yeah, I personally never heard you, so I mean, that's why I don't really mind like speaking to you or whatever the case. But you know, some people have their own opinions.
No, I have positions. Like make no mistake, I have positions. Things I think about Muhammad, things I think about the Quran, but I defend them with arguments. I don't just like throw it out there as an insult.
Right, but that like to you that would be similar to us saying like Jesus is not God. Like on the apparent to you, that's blaspheming to begin with.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's an argument that I would back with like, you know, scripture or whatever the case. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, we'll wait for KD and then we'll just jump right into this.
All right, man, I'm back.
Okay.
Let's get into it, man.
All right, so here is going to be the symmetry that we're going to present. So the argument that was originally rendered was this: P1, the mustard seed must be the smallest seed in a literal sense. That is like a botanical lesson. Or Jesus' statement was ignorant and he is not God. The mustard seed is not the smallest seed. Conclusion: Jesus' statement was ignorant and he is not God. Now we're going to move into the black seed. And guess what? I can present the exact same argument. And again, what you're going to see is where, notice in the mustard seed conversation, I said the majority of scholarship in terms of like how they view the parable, the majority do not, under any circumstances, consider it to be a botanical lesson or Jesus making a literal statement, but rather they take it to be proverbial, or they take it to be hyperbole, or they take it to be phenomenological and just using agricultural language. So the scholarship holds to this. I guarantee you what's going to happen, and you're going to see this, is this is going to be the argument that I present. P1, the black seed must heal every disease, or Muhammad's statement was ignorant and he is a false prophet. P2, the black seed does not heal every disease. Conclusion, Muhammad was ignorant and is a false prophet. So the premises, that is a steel man of my opponent's argument, and the premises of this parody argument is just going to be as follows. It's going to be where we see a symmetry to where he is going to have to special plead. He's going to have to defend the hadith, or he's going to have to defend his prophet by using the principles that he used to argue against Jesus. If he applies scholarly consensus, if he applies difference of wording, if he applies phenomenological hyperbole, phenomenological language or hyperbole, if he applies any of these things, in doing so, he rescues Jesus from this, because the statements that are made in the hadith are left way worse than anything in the Gospels, because we have way more to pull from. In the Gospels, we have the whole story of the parable and the sower. We have where the word in earth and how it's referenced as like different domain, where it can be in reference to the planet, it can be in reference to the soil, it can be in reference to all of these things. So the Greek allows for what's called a semantic range. I guarantee you at some point in this conversation, my opponent is going to employ semantic range for the Arabic, or he's going to do some other tactic that we've already discussed in reference to the mustard seed. So the challenge yet again, I as I said, you conceded multiple times in the argument that we just presented about the mustard seed. But now it's going to get worse, because for you to rescue Muhammad from me and from this argument, you're going to have to employ principles that I employed with Jesus. And it's not going to go well. So that's my statement. Can you, before you give your statement, can I grab a drink?
Yeah, bro.
All right. Hey, Duran Central, entertain.
I was just gonna say that was right around the 3-minute marker. So King Dawa, you'll have up to
What's
3
up,
minutes.
man?
Hey, how's everybody doing over there, man?
Hey, Duran, unblock me, bro.
Nah,
Aaron
man,
Dorsey,
you gotta earn that central.
Hey,
No, I
man.
got you. I ain't talk to you in a minute, man. I'll unblock you, bro.
Hi, bro.
First time I ever went live on this
Let
app
me
was on
unblock
Darren's
some.
damn.
Hey, I appreciate. Hey, you know I be cooking for real though. You know I be cooking for real.
You ain't cooking nothing, bro.
Hey, I baked
by the
all.
way.
Man, stop playing.
I
This dude
swear
said I
to
got
God.
baked by Liberty.
I
Hey, Chad,
swear
y'all
to
see
God,
this?
man.
Y'all hear
You
this?
got baked so bad. I was
Hey,
almost like
Contra,
crying
who-
for you.
Guys,
Who
yo,
is this
chill
guy,
out,
man?
chill out, chill
Hey,
out
yeah,
in the
who's this
chat,
guy?
bro. Chill out in the chat, guys. Chill out.
Yeah, tell your boy to relax.
What
No,
happened?
no,
I
no,
was going
bro.
like 2 minutes.
Bro.
What
I'm
happened?
saying, guys, just don't say anything like
Curse. I didn't curse.
too crazy, bro. Like in the chat, I'm saying in the chat, there's some crazy stuff.
All right, man. Hey, I'm muting up, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Just wanted to say hi, man. Appreciate y'all. Much love.
Duran,
Love
don't
you,
forget, unblock me, bro.
I got you. I just did.
All right, bro.
All right, much love, bro.
All right, blah,
All right.
can you read the hadith for us?
Yeah, I can read the hadith. Which one?
The one in Sahih Bukhari or Muslim, whichever one you want.
Okay. So in Bukhari, you have, we went out and Ghabib bin, I don't speak Arabic, so deal with that. But he fell ill on the way, and when we arrived at Medina, he was still sick. Ibn Abi Atiq came to visit and said to us, treat him with black cumin. Take 5 or 7 seeds and crush them. Mix them in powder or oil, drop the resulting mixture into both nostrils. For Aisha has narrated to me that she heard the Prophet saying, this black cumin is a healing for all diseases except Asam. And Aisha said, what is Asam? And he said, death.
Can
Now-
everybody, guys, Muslims, can we get an amen in the chat? What a beautiful hadith, man. What a beautiful hadith. Amen. Amen. It's a healing for all diseases except death. Amen. Amen. I love this
Okay.
hadith. Sits
Okay,
in my
perfect.
heart, man. Amen. All
All
right.
right. So, I mean, question one, bro. Is it
Wait,
the
wait,
healing?
wait, hang on, King. Do you want to use the
Oh,
3
wait.
minutes?
No. You have your time. You have your
Yeah.
time.
Do you want to use your 3 minutes? You have up to 3 minutes. I don't know how
I'll
much
just
you
let
want
him
to
get-
use.
It's fine. I'll just let him get started. It's
Okay,
cool.
you guys want. I'm gonna let you guys do the same thing I did earlier, bro. Unless I have to step in, I won't. All right,
Amen,
go ahead.
man. Amen to that hadith, bro. Everybody,
Okay, so-
amen in the chat, man. Amen.
So, which premise do you deny?
Yeah, so I deny premise two. So you said if it's not, you said if it's meant to be taken literally, then this would make the prophet a false prophet from my memory, right?
Premise two is the black seed does not heal every disease.
No, I disagree with that.
Okay, so you think the black seed does heal every disease?
Yeah, so I'm gonna ask a clarifying question. Bought by blood, do you agree that if your general health is improved, then you have what's it called? Your symptoms of your diseases will at least be partially remedied.
If the general sense of your health? Yeah, so is your claim that this black seed generally heals?
Yeah, does it help in any way?
Does it present? Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Oh, okay, the debate's over. Thank you.
Oh,
I take.
watch this. Watch this. Yeah,
I take
so-
literally. It's over, man. It's over.
No, watch this. Watch this. So
It's
when your
finished.
scholars,
It's over.
wait,
It's
why
over.
are you
Come
disagreeing
on.
with your
Come on,
scholars?
It's rounds. It's rounds.
Why are you disagreeing with your scholars?
I take it literally. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a
No.
problem with it. Everybody
Okay.
in the chat, amen.
So watch.
Amen.
So you agree? So watch. So you agree that if there is even a single disease that it provides no benefit for or healing for, then my argument goes
Yes.
through.
So, bought by blood, you would have to demonstrate that at least. Let me tell you this. If
Yeah,
I
this
could
is
take
easy.
even the size of my finger, right, the smallest nail piece on my finger, and that much improves in my health from the black seed, and that treats the disease in 0.001,
No, you said-
like the puppy
you
seed.
said
Brother,
generally.
it's over. It's over.
Wait, you
Even-
said generally.
No, yes,
You said
that's
it
what I mean.
generally
Brother,
treats
even
the
if
disease.
Even if the, let me tell you something. Even if it's the size of my puppy seed, even if it's the size of puppy seed, how much it helps, it's finished. That's all I need for the hadith to be true. So
No, you
would
do not.
So would
Watch
you,
this.
would you-
Okay,
no,
okay, let's go
show
over
me
the
that-
hadith.
Show that it's
Yeah.
show-
So
what qualifies
when it
what
comes-
qualifies something blah, 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 what qualifies something as being
watch this.
considered healing?
yeah. So watch this. So the Arabic word shifa, what does it mean?
Give me healing or remedy.
Cure, healing, recovery from disease.
Yeah,
Does-
general,
is it
the
only
most common
applied-
the most common usage throughout the Quran and the Sunnah, it means healing. That's like the most.
Is it?
the-
Wait.
It's the most common. It's
Is
the most
it?
common
Is
usage.
it only applied to something that is in a general sense?
Excuse me.
Is it only applied to something that's in a general sense?
That is a position you could take, and it's supported by history. But if I'm not, that's not even the position I'm taking. I'm taking the literal reading. Now, blood by
Yeah,
blood.
yeah.
Can
No,
you take-
this
can
is
you-
good. This
Can you
is
take
good.
the
Watch
literal
this.
reading on the mustard seed?
I love this.
Can
If
you
you're
take
taking the literal reading,
can
you
take the
still-
literal
you
reading on the
still-
mustard seed.
No. If you're taking the literal reading, then all I have to do is present one disease that it does not provide healing for. Okay?
In any metric, does it help with your
No,
health?
it's not in any. It's
No,
not
no,
in any
in any
metric. You said
metric.
in a general sense.
No. In any metric. So if the
If you're taking metric there,
Hold on.
wait. If you're taking
So you
metric
agree-
there,
You,
could be
you
that
agreed.
it adds. Wait.
You
One
agreed
second.
that no symptom-
Are you
just one
taking
second, one
metric?
second.
Wait, I want to clarify.
You agreed.
Let me
that-
ask you clarifying.
Yeah,
Let me
it's
ask you
already
clarifying.
finished. It's already
Let me
over.
ask you clarifying.
Let me finish.
Are you
You
taking?
already agreed.
Wait, no.
You're-
Let me clarify. Are you taking any metric to be something as if it creates one extra white blood cell?
Brother, if it helps with your health in the smallest of seeds into any way, then the hadith is true. You don't have an argument.
Okay.
against it. And
this is not-
Did you hold on, blood by blood?
Wait,
Did you already
wait.
agree? Did you
Watch
already
this.
agree that if your
This is
general
great.
health, just hold on, if your general
This
health
is
is
great.
improved, if it's improved in any way, then this will heal
Yeah, the
practically
general-
any disease.
No, but general health being improved is not the
Is that
same
healing?
as provide. No.
Is that
It
healing?
is not the same
It's not
as the
healing?
word that is used for shifa.
No,
So
Shifa is.
when-
Shifa
wait,
just
no,
means
listen.
remedy or healing.
No, listen. So shifa, for example, let's go to the Quran.
Shifa
all right?
means healing, brother.
Yeah, watch this. So if you're taking the literal reading, then you're actually in a worse.
Brother, let me tell you something.
You're in a worse
Let me tell
position.
you something.
So
Let me tell you.
the Black Sea,
You're finished.
dude,
You're finished, brother.
you're cooked. This is
You're
bad.
done. You're done. You're in the pot.
So the
man.
black seed, watch this. The black seed, when we look at the wording for this, cure, healing, recovery from disease, that which heals. This is according to Lane's lexicon, Lane's Arabic lexicon.
It's rap.
That which heals, remedy, medicine, or antidote. Now, here is my question. By what interpretive principle are you deriving your sense of using the word?
I'm telling you, shifa just means healing. So, why is he laughing? If the benefits of the black seed contribute to your health or contribute to remedying your disease, even in the most unmeasurable metric, then the hadith is still true. I don't believe. I think it literally. I don't unless you can show. And by the way, I don't think you
That's
have.
not what I asked you.
I don't think you have I don't think you have the tools
That's,
to be able to check this. But I'm saying,
that's not what I asked you.
If you can bring something,
Wait,
which
answer
is,
the question I asked you,
Oh my God,
please.
I did answer. I did.
Not
answer.
even a little bit.
That's what the word means, shifa.
No, listen, I'm going to ask you again. What interpretive principle are you using to derive the meaning of the word shifa?
I'm saying this is the most common usage, and also the interpretive scope allows for it.
Okay, so common usage
There's shifa.
does
There are-
not
there are
necessitate
there are
specific
words-
usage,
There are
right?
specific words. There are specific words for cure. That could have been.
Okay.
used.
No, but listen. Common usage does not necessitate specific type of usage. Do you agree that shifa has a semantic range?
Yeah.
Great. What interpretive principle are you using to say that this hadith is literal?
Yeah. So firstly, I'm using the conventional usage of the word, and also the interpretation, which is most agreed upon. So the most agreed upon is it says healing, because shifa is like 99% of the time used for healing, and there's specific words for cure. So if the Prophet wanted to say cure, he could have used I believe it's dua or something. I'm not sure exactly how you say cure.
Yeah. So here's the great part. Shifa is used in the Quran as well. So Surah Al-Isra in 1782, we send down of the Quran that which is healing and mercy for believers, or you can also look at Surah we'll just say 2680.
It says healing.
And it says, when I am ill, it is he who cures me, and it uses shifa.
That can also mean
The
healing.
prophet Abraham, okay? The shifa
Here's my
attributed. Is God healing Abraham absolutely or partially?
Absolutely.
Okay, God is healing Abraham absolutely.
Yeah.
So when he says the Quran is bringing healing, is it bringing healing and mercy for the believers absolutely or partially?
Absolutely.
What interpretive principle are you using with this hadith in order to justify the absolutely over partially?
Even from the Prophet himself, he didn't believe this to be a universal cure. Why? Because he was sick, and so were his companions, and there were also plagues after the time of the Prophet, and none of them interpreted this to mean about complete healing. Nobody did that. Even the Prophet himself during his lifetime. So this would be historically not justified. That's
not true. So I have your scholars, sadly.
Semantically, the interpretation of the text, the most common usage of the word, just means healing in any sense. Now, how it operates just depends on the context. And the context here it's not, it's not exhaustive. It doesn't lock you into one or the other. So my interpretation is going to be supported by history.
No. It's actually not. So Ibn Hajar, you familiar with him?
Yeah, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, yeah.
Here's a quote from him. It was said that the words every disease refers to every disease that can be treated with it because it is beneficial in the case of cold diseases only. As for hot diseases, Ibn Hajar says it is not. What is meant by the seed being a healing for every disease is that it should not be used on its own. Rather, it may be used on its own or with other ingredients. It may be used ground up or otherwise it may be eaten, drunk, or snuff. So why does Ibn Hajar, in reference to the Arabic, not take the same interpretation you do if the Arabic is so clear?
Yeah, so I don't think you realize what you just read. Firstly, Ibn Hajar, he's not one of the contemporaries of the Prophet. But anyway, like it's not important. The point is, Ibn Hajar is applying the contextual and how it's been transmitted to him, how the hadith was understood. That this is not exhaustive. However, I'm granting you that it can be exhaustive, and there's no problem. I don't think you understand. Like I don't even know why.
Not what I asked you.
I don't even know why you brought this.
It's not what I asked you. What I asked you is what interpretive principle, what criteria are you using to justify your usage of the Arabic shifa when Ibn Hajar is not justifying it using the exact same reading and hadith?
Yeah, so that's Ibn Hajar's interpretation doesn't contradict mine. Like he can hold that opinion.
Okay,
That doesn't.
but
like,
this is the point.
bro, you don't understand.
Ibn Hajar, who speaks better Arabic, you or Ibn Hajar?
Oh my God, Ibn Hajar. That's not an issue.
Oh,
like I don't see why. Just because
why does
Ibn
Ibn
Hajar.
Hajar?
Wait, so okay, so
Wait,
Ibn
perfect.
Hajar. Wait, hold on, Bob.
Wait.
So Ibn Hajar doesn't believe it's exhaustive, right?
So he says he's not taking the same interpretation you are. He
Wait,
says
so is he
that
saying-
it is
wait, hold on,
beneficial.
hold on,
Wait, I'm going to read it again.
hold on, hold on.
I'm going to
You
answer the
need to
question.
answer this question.
Ibn Hajar
Is
says
Ibn
it is
Hajar
beneficial in the
is Ibn-
case. Wait,
hold
let me
on.
finish. Let me
Ibn
read.
Hajar-
Let me read your
Let me finish-
scholars.
No.
Let me read Ibn
All right,
Hajar.
all right, guys.
Let me read.
Order.
Let me
Guys,
ask you a
order,
question.
You
order.
interrupted me.
Brother,
I let you finish.
Let me speak. You've been
So
speaking the whole
Ibn
time.
Hajar speaks
Guys,
better
hold
Arabic and reads better Arabic
Let
than
him-
you.
Yes.
Hold
Yet
on,
your
guys.
but yet his
He's panicking.
interpretive
He's
principle.
panicking, man. He's literally
Guys.
panicking. Why are
Okay,
you
both of you
panicking,
guys,
dude?
chill. Okay. Bob,
He's panicking.
bring your source and ask the question and let him respond, please.
Okay.
All right, no problem.
I
So-
ask again. You
so-
said Ibn
so
Hajar
Bob,
understands. Wait, listen. We're talking. He told me to say it. Why are you talking?
Go ahead.
Yeah. So he said, or I'm sorry, you said that shifa just means healing in any sense. If my pinky nail, the size of a mustard seed, is healed, then it is true. But you just said that you do not read or speak Arabic as well as Ibn Hajar. And Ibn Hajar does not take that interpretation. In fact, the majority of your scholars, Al-Katabi, Abu Bakr, Ibn Al-Qayyim, Al-Ayani is actually one of the best ones. And then also when Ibn Abu Jamara is quoted by Ibn Hajar. When we look at all of these, none of them are taking the interpretation you're taking. In fact, it says, why is it the case that if the Arabic is so clear, that Ibn Hajar's interpretive principle is to say that it only treats cold diseases, but for hot diseases it is not?
Yeah, very simple. So I don't even know why you're asking me this question because Ibn Hajar's interpretation doesn't damage mine in any way. Like I don't have an issue with Ibn Hajar's interpretation. Like the way he's
Yes, you do
transmitting
have
it
an
simply.
issue.
No, I don't. I already told you there's two ways that this can be interpreted. Is this guy slow? There's two ways that this can be interpreted. It could either be interpreted to be exhaustive or not exhaustive. I'm taking the one that's exhaustive, which is more in your favor, and you're still failing.
But
So,
what is your
the way it's-
justifying
the way it's-
principle to reject
already-
Ibn Hajar?
I'm
What
not
justification
rejecting-
are you
can take
offering
that-
to
you can take
reject
that- You
Ibn?
can take. Oh my God, this guy's slow. You can take that interpretation. It's not a problem.
You realize they're contradictory, right?
No, they're not. Like from the. I'm telling
Okay,
you, there's two.
let me show you the P
I'm
and
telling
not
you.
P.
Let
me show you the P and not
Let me
P.
finish, bro. Let me
Contradiction.
finish.
Here it
You're
is.
not- let me
Proposition.
finish.
Bob, I let
I'm
him
talking
finish.
about-
Let him
when I
finish,
say-
to be
when I
fair.
say- When I say contradictory, I'm saying contradictory in terms of like conclusion that we arrive at. Okay, so there's two ways you can interpret it. You could either say that it's limited in its scope, or it's exhaustive. Either way, that interpretation supports me, dude. I don't think you're getting it.
No,
So-
no, it doesn't.
So you can,
So,
yes, it does. I'm
do-
telling. Okay.
Does your
So if Ibn
interpretation
Hajar- if Ibn
allow?
Hajar- listen.
Wait, no.
If
Wait.
Ibn
You
Hajar-
finish.
if-
You
let
finish.
me
Let me
finish.
ask.
Let me, brother.
Does
Let me
your
finish, dude. Let me-
interpretation-
No, Central.
Wait.
Can you control this
Bro.
guy, bro? He's panicking.
Bro, you finish.
I
finished?
just okay.
Let me
Alright.
land my point.
Yeah, let him.
Alright.
Bye. Let him land, and then you can go ahead.
All right. So, if Ibn Hajar believes that the hadith is not exhaustive, okay, and this is what's been transmitted to him. Now, what's the issue for me? What,
Yeah,
like, how
okay,
does how
perfect.
does this pose a scientific?
Your issue contradicts Ibn Hajar. So you said that you take it literally to where the Arabic shifa is applied to every disease. If even the most minuscule sort of like healing is brought to the person, which is completely contrary to your scholars, if even the most minuscule healing is brought to the person, then it is going to be the case that the hadith is true. But watch, Ibn Hajar says that it is not applicable for hot diseases, only cold diseases. Let me ask you, does your interpretation allow for healing for hot diseases?
I'm saying both interpretations don't pose any scientific issue. That's why
Answer
it's
the
not
question
relevant.
I asked you.
I'm saying you could.
Not
I'm saying
the
you could.
question-
I'm
that's
saying you
not
could
the
take-
question I
I'm
asked
saying-
you.
I already started. I
Does
already said you
your
can take the-
explanation? I'm going to ask it again. I'm going to cut you
This
off because
guy,
I'm going to
like,
ask
is
you
this guy?
again.
Yo, brother, are you on planet Earth? What's wrong with
I'm
you,
going.
dude?
I'm
I
going to
already
ask you
told
again because you
could
did not
take-
even come
I
close.
told
to
you in the. I told you from the very beginning. You could
No.
take either interpretation, and neither of them cause any issues.
Listen,
You're not paying attention.
yes. Your positions contradict. You have a proposition and its negation. Let me show you. The proposition and its negation is this. Wait. The proposition and its negation is going to be
I
this.
know the positions aren't the
You
same. I'm saying
say
neither of them
that,
are problematic, dude.
The hadith, the prophet is saying it brings absolute healing in the sense
Wait, no, where does he
that
say
it
absolute?
provides.
Where does he say
No,
absolute?
no, listen.
No, where does
Let
he
me
say
finish.
absolute?
Let
No,
me
you
finish.
just added
Let me
that.
finish.
No, you just added
Let
that.
me finish.
Where does he say absolute?
No, I'm saying this is your position.
No.
So
No,
I'm
I didn't say
using
absolute
absolute-
healing.
wait,
I didn't say
listen,
absolute
listen.
healing. No. I didn't say
Listen.
absolute healing. Why are you putting words
Yes,
in my
it
mouth? I
brings
didn't say
some
that.
sense.
You're
No. I'm not saying.
Listen,
Pay attention.
listen,
Pay attention.
brother,
You're
brother.
not tracking.
I said you can
Listen,
take.
let me finish my
two
statement. You're cutting me
interpretations.
off. Central.
I said you could,
He's-
but you're
he's cutting me
straw
off
manning
this
me, brother.
time.
You're putting words
He's
in my
cutting me
mouth.
off this time.
Guys, one of you gonna have to let the other one go.
Yeah. So anyway,
Bob?
I'm the one asking the question. Your position contradicts Ibn Hajar because Ibn Hajar says that it does not provide any sense of healing for hot diseases. Your position is that it does provide healing for hot diseases. So my question for you is, does Ibn Hajar agree with you that this hadith provides healing for hot diseases? Homie is slow motion right now.
No, Ibn Hajar doesn't agree with that specific interpretation. Minor healing or not exhaustive.
You're cutting out. Find Wi-Fi.
Hear me?
Crazy. We
You
got
guys hear
the
me?
black seed and his Wi-Fi is going on.
You guys hear me? Yo. You
Can you
guys
hear me?
You guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Okay.
I told you.
You're good, bro.
I'll just ask again.
No, dude. I heard the question. Just hold on. I told you
Okay,
there
answer.
are two positions you could take. It's either exhaustive or not exhaustive. But it being exhaustive doesn't mean that it's absolute in the sense of its healing. So I told you it could either apply to all diseases in a minuscule way, or you could use it to a fixed domain. Either way, there's not a problem. So I don't see why you're pressing on this. I've answered it like 5 times.
Yes, there is a problem because you're
What is
saying
the problem?
the
You
same.
need to
Wait, I'm gonna show you.
Oh my god.
The problem is this. You're doing exactly what I said you were going to do. You're applying that there is a possibility of other interpretations, which, by the way, you granted me for Jesus. You said that there's a possibility of other interpretations. Now, if it's the case that it is possible that this is going to be exhaustive or not exhaustive, where did he go? Can you hear me? Like,
Yeah, I
you
can
need
hear
to sit down. You need to sit down, bro. Just find Wi-Fi and sit.
Bro, I'm chilling, bro.
Anyway, so Anyway, no, back to the question. The problem is going to be this. How do you know what is truly going to be illocutionary from the prophet if you have contradicting positions?
Yeah,
What did
I
the
told-
prophet actually mean?
Both of the positions are valid. You could take either.
Bro, I'm gonna ask you again. What did the prophet mean? Did he mean that the
You're-
black
you're
seed
confused.
provides healing for all diseases, hot and cold in some sense?
Oh my God,
Or
you're
did he
confused.
mean, wait, listen, did the prophet mean that the black seed provides healing for all diseases, hot and cold in some sense? Or did the prophet mean that it only provides healing for cold diseases? Which one?
Okay, I told you there's ikhtilaf on interpretation, and both are fine. So what are you not understanding, dude? Why are you?
I'm
keep
asking
pushing on
you,
this?
what did...
Which do any of these? Okay, blah blah blah.
No,
do any of these?
they're not
do
both
any
fine.
Of do any of these cause what in this causes the religion to be false? Which of these interpretations is problematic?
Yeah, it's going to be the case that if he is saying this in a literal sense, then guess what? He is a false prophet because he is ignorant.
How is it? What do you mean? I already told you. You can take.
I'll give you the argument. Black seed.
Oh my
Wait,
God,
watch
I already,
this.
I already told
Black
you.
seed. No. Listen, this is the argument.
No. Let me finish.
Black
brother.
seed must
Yo,
heal every
chill out.
disease
No,
or Muhammad's state. You
I
cut
already
me off.
told-
You cut me off.
No, you
Listen,
cut me off.
I know you're scared of your
No,
hunting
no,
threat.
yo, it's like
Guys,
Chill.
guys.
Let me finish.
No, he's panicking,
Wait.
man. He's panicking.
Wait.
I'm panicking. You're the one
Panicking so
losing your
bad,
mind
brother.
right now.
Guys. Okay, I
telling you.
think Bob, I think you cut him off when he was responding. So let him just land, and then you can go ahead, bro.
This is guy.
Him how. He asked him how, and Brought by Blood was about to answer him how, and then he started cutting him off. So
Okay.
he didn't cut
No,
off.
bro,
He said how.
What are you doing, man?
It's
That's
fine.
what he
Go.
said. How?
Don't think you're
It's fine.
Jay.
It's fine.
Let me speak.
No, just let him
Jay,
go
shut
because
up.
I'm gonna get to it either way.
Yeah, just let
it's
him
fine.
land,
Go.
and then Bob, you can go ahead.
All right, I told you.
Yeah, go.
Get out
So
of
the
here.
point is, you have to show a set of options which limit this to being a problem for Islam. I've given you two interpretations, and you've agreed these are the two interpretations. It's either exhaustive or it's not exhaustive. Now, we're being exhaustive, that has no problem for us because shifa doesn't necessarily entail absolute remedy, absolute healing. It doesn't. Also, you can You can take the interpretation that's not exhaustive, which is the more common position and the one supported by history, right? And it's still not problematic because I've already told you from the life of the Prophet, from the life of his companions, I've already told you how the position's been generally understood. I'm giving you the more charitable position, which is to take it off if it's apparent. Now, it's still not an issue for us. So you need to show why this entails an issue for Islam. And by the way,
Gladly.
this is crazy because I
Gladly.
can take the literal reading of the text.
Here,
It's not-
here,
not
watch,
an issue.
watch.
Let me finish. It's not an issue for me, but you already said that Jesus is not speaking hyperbolically in Mark 4:30 to 31, and that destroys your religion, my friend. So, I mean,
Yeah. So watch this. Jesus, remember I told you, you're going to have to employ principles to save Muhammad that also rescued Jesus. Let me show you how that works. Jesus is either speaking literally or non-literally, right? Now, literally there can still be in reference to the proverbial sense, but that's going to be true. He's either speaking literally or non-literally. The prophet in this hadith is either speaking literally or non-literally,
I
right?
grant it's literal.
Okay, but it's either the case he's speaking literally or non-literally because you said that there's distinction in interpretation.
You can take
There's
either,
two
dude.
options.
You can take either.
Right.
Fine.
No, but one of them, right? So if you're going to say you can take either, the one that you're taking where it's literally the case that the prophet is saying, and the one that Ibn Hajar says that it is not literally the case. Guess what that gives you? It gives you a contradiction. Because I'm asking you again, how do you know whether the prophet was speaking literally that aligns with your position or non-literally as it aligns with Ibn Hajar?
Bro, this guy's not paying attention. I told you that the one supported by history is my position. The one Ibn Hajar is holding is more minimal. However, even if you take that position, it's not an issue. It doesn't contradict reality. You need to show if it contradicts reality or not. Because we have two answers, and this is this is a common principle in tafsir and hadith commentaries and other things. You can take multiple positions, and them all being valid wouldn't cause any issue. So you need to.
Okay, so,
just
yeah.
because they contradict each other doesn't mean they contradict reality. So it's no problem.
Yeah, name a scholar that agrees with your position if it's the historical position.
I can get you for you. Hold on.
Because I've got your scholars right here. Al-Khattabi, while you go find that. Al-Khattabi, the words from every disease are general terms, but what is meant by them is something specific because there is no medicine made from plants that could be used to treat all diseases. Guess what? He disagrees with you. And he uses the word treat all diseases, which means it's bringing a benefit. Rather, what is meant in the hadith is that it is healing for every disease that is caused by moisture. Disagreeing with your position again. Abu Bakr says honey is more likely to be a remedy for every disease than the black seed, contradicting your position. Ibn al-Qayyim, the words healing from every disease are like the verse in which Allah says destroying everything by the command of the Lord. This is disagreeing with your position. Al-Ayani, the fact that the general meaning is what was intended is obvious because the wording indicates that it is also indicated by the exception in the phrase. If the general meaning had not been intended, there would have been no need to mention the exception. The fact that an exception is made for death indicates that all other diseases, black seed may be useful as a remedy, but that is dependent upon there being an impediment or upon the conditions being met. All of these scholars disagree. You have not given a justifying principle for why it is the case we should accept King Dawa's definition over his Islamic scholars and over the Prophet in the Hadith.
I think he's gonna grab a scholar that agrees with his position, like you asked. So
Homie should have put this on a laptop. Like, has he never debated before? I'm not trying to throw a dig. It's just like for all I'm not saying he is, but for all I know, he's on the ChatGPT.
I got you. Let me show you. Let me show you. I'm going to show you the sheikh who says there's ikhtilaf on this, and neither of these are problematic for me. I don't have an issue with you, bro. You're yet to show like how is this a problem for Islam, bro. Like, I can't lie. You're just asserting that it's an issue. It's an issue that they have ikhtilaf, but neither of these positions contradict reality.
Yes, it would contradict reality. That's the point.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, the black seed doesn't heal all diseases, and neither do your scholars think that. So let me finish. What they think your prophet is intending, what they believe your prophet is intending, is scholars think that he's intending that it heals and brings cures to cold diseases, not hot diseases. Your position is that it brings cures to hot diseases.
You're so confused, dude.
Your prophet's intention, does it or does it not bring cure or healing to hot diseases?
Oh my God. Blood by blood, you're extremely confused. I told you that the more historical interpretation is that it's to a fixed domain. But I told you, even if you take the literal reading of the text, there's no problem. So now you need to show...
Okay, answer the question. Does it bring healing to hot diseases according to the statement from your prophet? Yes or no?
Excuse me?
The hadith. Yeah. Does your prophet intend to say that the black seed brings healing to hot diseases?
Yeah, that's the historical interpretation. But I'm telling you, the literal reading doesn't have an issue.
Okay, obviously it has an issue. If it doesn't have an issue, why do your scholars disagree?
Let me read this. This is mentioned by Ibn Hajar. Sheikh Abu Muhammad bin Abi Jamr said, people have discussed this hadith, restricting its general meaning and referring to it the statements of physicians and empirical experience. There is no hidden flaw in the error of such a view, because if we accept physicians whose knowledge is mostly based on experimentation built upon strong probability, then the testimony of one who does not speak from desire is more deserving of acceptance than their words. It has already been explained, and interpreting it in a general sense can be justified by understanding it as referring more broadly to both single and compound uses. There is no problem in that, nor does it depart from the apparent meaning of the hadith. God knows best. So there you go. Great. So there you go. I've just given you.
Yeah, here.
I've just given you a commentary that agrees with my interpretation, and they even mentioned that there's.
Perfect.
Hold on. Even
That's good.
Yo, is this guy like sick in that? Brother, let me speak. What are you doing?
Go.
What's wrong with this guy?
Hurry up.
So I already told you there is ikhtilaf on the interpretation, but neither of the interpretations contradict reality. It's simply that the more apparent, the more historically justified reading is the one that you're mentioning from Ibn Hajar. However, if you take the hadith from its apparent or literal reading as well, it doesn't contradict. And that's what this sheikh is saying here.
I thought you said your position was the more historically justified.
No, I said that it being to a fixed domain is more historically justified because
Okay, good.
during the
Okay.
Prophet's during the Prophet's lifetime, we had sick people, himself also being sick. We also had his companions being sick, and they didn't use the black seed for all of these diseases, decided by it being common. So it's clear that the Prophet himself didn't intend this to mean it's a universal healing for everything. But even if you take that reading, even if you do, and there's ikhtilaf, some people take that reading, there's not a problem. That's the point. So now you need to show which one of these interpretations contradicts reality, because
The one that contradicts reality is going to be the one where you're saying literally black cumin brings healing to all diseases. For example,
I said you can take that interpretation. It doesn't matter. I told you, because if
this contradicts reality.
you agree.
Hello?
The very start, by the way, the very start of the conversation, you declared. I said, if
This
you
contradicts reality.
I told you.
You understand that, right?
No. I told you, if your health is benefited even in the most minute way, would this count as healing to the disease in some sense? And you said yes. You agree?
Yeah, in the you said but you said
So
general.
you already agreed that both interpretations aren't problematic. So don't try and switch up now.
No, that is not the case. You said it in a general sense. When
No,
I
I
agreed,
said
when I agreed, it was in
I said it
reference
can
to
apply
the
to all
general sense.
diseases. There's no issue.
Yeah, when I said it's in reference to a general sense, and you said it's just healing for the pinky, this absolutely contradicts. So, for example, here I'll give you this one. Meniere's disease is a cold disease. Now, if you go to the article on this, no, I'm not a robot. Go away. Here. So, a study of efficacy of the black seed in treatment of Meniere's disease. A randomized placebo-controlled clinical trial, which is
What was the
peer-reviewed.
study again? Sorry.
The study is a study of efficacy of the black seed in treatment of Meniere's disease. And then here's what their results are. At the end of the study, we did not observe any significant improvement in the study group's hearing threshold, tinnitus, vertigo, compared to the control group. So here's what they did. The method, we divided 40 patients with definitive MD into two groups of 20 cases. The study group received 1 gram of black seed oil daily for 3 months, and the control group received a placebo. Changes in hearing, tinnitus, and vertigo were estimated by Pure Tone, Auditory Tinnitus Handicap Inventory Questionnaire, and Dizziness Handicap Inventory. The results of that study is that... Oh, give me 1 second. Oh, I see.
This is actually hilarious. He's not tracking.
There you go. Yeah, so the results is we did not observe any significant improvement in the studies group, which means it brought no healing. It didn't do anything for the actual disease.
Significant. Did
No.
the study say significant?
We did not observe any significant improvement in the studies group, which means it didn't heal anything. Bro,
Oh my
that still
god!
bakes you.
Did I say that even the smallest improvement to your health?
Bro, it
it's
didn't do anything to the disease.
Does it say anything, or does it say significant?
It didn't do anything.
Or
It
did
literally,
why
it
did
is.
say sig-
So,
did it
so
improve-
for example,
wait, hold on.
Here,
Did it
here,
improve
I'll read
did
you
it
more of the
improve-
study.
Hey,
One
hey,
sec.
did it improve the receiver's health in any way?
It didn't. It did not improve the disease at all. It didn't improve the disease at all.
Hey man. Hey
Wait,
man. Oh,
So wait a second.
this is crazy.
So your
This is
position.
crazy.
Watch this. Watch
No,
this.
let me. So let me.
Your position. Wait a minute. Your position is going to be such as that
This is so bad.
that black seed, the improvement has got to just affect the person, not the disease, right?
Oh my god, dude! In affecting the person, it affects the disease.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
So,
I already
bro,
told.
watch.
I already told you.
You have okay.
Is it possible? Listen. Is
You
it
have
possible-
AIDS.
Listen, let me-
You have AIDS.
Oh my.
If you have AIDS,
Bro,
if you
what are
have
you
AIDS, no. Listen, you have
Let me
AIDS,
speak.
but it
Let me
brings
speak.
healing to your pinky. Did
Yeah.
it do anything for the disease?
Yes, that's healing, brother. That's healing. It doesn't have to be. That doesn't have to be exhaustive healing. I already told you, if it is remedied or if the symptoms are treated, even the size of my finger right here, then
Then
there's-
wait,
the hadith
then
still-
it didn't do
then the
anything
hadith
to the
still
disease.
applies. The hadith still applies. You're so
No,
lost.
it doesn't.
Now,
Yeah,
let me
so
read-
so
let me
I'll
read
ask this again because
Hold on,
I
hold on.
still
Let me read-
not a
let me read
single
this.
time have you
Let me
answered
read-
this
Let
question.
me read, brother. Stop interrupting. Let me read.
Wait,
Does
Bob,
the prophet intend? Does the prophet intend
Let me read.
in his statement
Al-Din-
that the
Al-Din
healing is meant for hot
Al-Din
diseases?
al-Khalis al-Irshad
Listen,
al-Khalis
yes or no?
al-Din
I do not want anything other than a yes or no, and then
brother,
expound.
brother,
Yes or
you're the
no,
one that's
and then
interrupting
expound.
me. I'm answering you exhaustively, but what's wrong with this guy? Let me
I've
speak.
asked you this
It is-
question 5
Okay, guys,
or
guys.
6
Let
or
me
7
speak.
times.
What's wrong with this guy? All right, I
All right,
already
Bob,
answered.
Bob, I
You
let him
refuse to
respond.
answer it.
It has been
You
narrated.
refuse
Wait,
to
guys,
answer
Bob,
the
I let
question.
him respond.
This is funny. It has been narrated through the route of Hussam bin Mus'ak from Ubayd Allah bin Burayd from his father that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, in this black seed there is a healing. In the narration he said, how should I use it? He replied, take 21 seeds, tie them in a cloth, then place them in water overnight. In the morning, drop 1 drop into the right nostril and 2 into the left. At midday, drop 2 into the right nostril and 1 into the left. Then on the third day, drop 1 into the right and 2 into the left. Al-Mustaghfiri recorded it in his book on medicine. From this, it is understood that the meaning of the black seed, being a cure for every or healing for every ailment, is not that it is used alone for every disease. Rather, it may be used alone or combined, powdered or not powdered, eaten, drunk, and as nasal drops, applied as poultice and in other ways. It also said what is meant that it is a healing for every ailment that arises from moisture. So there's 2 positions. There's one that it's
Exactly.
about a specific group. What do you mean exactly? This helps me.
It doesn't at all.
It's either fixed to a specific domain, or it is just a partial remedy for anything. It's a remedy. It doesn't even have to entail curing. So when you say that it's healing for all diseases, there are so many different ways that you can read this hadith, and all of them don't contradict reality. So this is just awful.
So I'm gonna ask you, and moderator, please pay attention to my question because he's dodged it every time. I'm gonna ask you straight up, give me a yes or no, and then expound. Okay? Did the prophet intend that this black seed can bring healing to hot diseases in any sense?
That's the more historical interpretation.
Yes or no? Is that the
There's
intention of the
ikhtilaf.
prophet?
It's not yes or no. There's ikhtilaf. You can take different positions.
Okay, but you said the more historical position is Ibn Hajar's.
Yeah, the more historical position is that it's to a fixed domain because of the transmission. So you're
Then
not.
you contradicted yourself because Ibn Hajar says it does not treat hot diseases. I asked you a very clear question. I said,
You're actually.
Ding,
This is actually
I
terrible.
asked you flat out. I said,
You're asking me.
is it the prophet's
does it
intention?
is the prophet talking about all diseases or specific diseases? Brother, I told you, you can take either interpretation. It's not.
You
fixed.
did not give me a yes or no and expound. You completely
Because
failed because you're running.
It's not a
That's
yes
why.
or no question. There's different interpretations.
Okay.
No, it's a yes or
I
no.
think he's not saying yes or no because there's a third option. Am I right there?
I'm not saying yes or no because it's not fixed. He could have meant either or.
No,
So it depends on the
It's
position.
literally a yes or no. It's literally a yes or no.
I can grant.
Is the prophet's intention? Yes or no? Is the prophet's intention to say the black seed heals hot diseases in any sense?
in any sense?
Yeah, that's what I asked.
It depends on your interpretation you take. Like I said.
Yes or no? Okay. So if it depends on the interpretation,
It's not a fixed.
If it
question,
depends
There's
on the
two valid- there's
interpretation-
two valid interpretations. You can take either one.
okay. If no, it's not a valid interpretation. It either does heal hot diseases or it does not heal hot diseases. That's a dichotomy. Does heal hot diseases, does not heal hot diseases. If the prophet's intention is to say that it does heal hot diseases, then guess what? The majority position of scholarship is going to be incorrect, and your view is going to be correct. But if it is the case that the prophet's intention
not
is to
even-
say that it
oh
does
my
not
Lord.
heal hot
That's not even,
diseases,
dude.
then
realize
guess
it's not,
wait.
oh my,
Then guess what?
That's not even
If
an
it-
issue.
no, let me
Yo,
finish.
this
Let me
guy's so
finish.
slow.
Don't freak
This
out.
guy's so slow.
Don't freak out.
That's not even a
Don't
problem.
freak out.
Brother,
Don't
what
freak
is
out.
What are you doing?
If it's the case that the prophet's intention is to say that it does not heal hot diseases, then your interpretation is false, right?
Oh my god, dude, I'm saying even if the one that I'm granting you is false, that doesn't matter. You're so slow, you're not paying attention. By the way, when the scholars say that the domain is fixed,
You're dodging so
or the
hard.
domain is not fixed, I'm telling you that even if they held that position, that wouldn't be problematic. They were just going off of what they had available to them. So that's not any kind of issue for me. The same way your saint, Peter Chrysologus, literally believes that the mustard seed is the smallest of all things.
You're
God
dodging
created.
so hard, bro.
I'm telling
Like,
you,
I've never seen so much dodgery.
You can take either one.
No, you can't. They contradict. What part do you not get about this?
Oh my good lord.
True dichotomy.
I'm saying-
Heals hot diseases, does not heal hot diseases. True dichotomy.
Yeah.
Does heal hot diseases, does not heal hot diseases. If you
Okay.
take one, it negates the other.
Yeah, you can negate the other, and neither of them contradicts reality, brother.
Thank you.
I'm
If it
I'm
negates the other,
because
then it's going to contradict reality, because then it's going to be that the black seed does not heal something, either a hot disease or a cold disease. That's going to be your issue. Why are you not tracking this? True dichotomy does heal hot diseases, does not heal hot diseases. We're asking about the prophet's intended meaning, his illocution, right? If it is the case that he says it heals every disease, and it is in the sense of cold diseases, like the majority of your scholars think, then it does not heal hot diseases, which contradicts your position, which means your position contradicts the prophet.
okay, yeah, no problem. We can say it's fixed. Sure.
Okay, so your position contradicts the prophet if we take the majority historical view.
No.
Yes, that would be the
No.
entailment.
We just
The
explained.
majority historical
we just
view is not your view,
explained-
right?
I just explained that I said you could take either view. I'm saying I'm granting you the literal reading, and there wouldn't be a problem, depending on how you read the word shifa, which is not an issue.
Okay, so it's dependent on the word shifa?
Yeah.
Okay, just like Jesus is dependent on the word earth or dependent on the word sown?
Earth was,
right?
we already granted that.
Great. So you're using a principle to save Muhammad that rescues Jesus. Good job.
No, I'm not, because I already granted you that you could take either interpretation, it being soil or earth. That would both be problematic.
Which means
You're
it
not
has
under-
semantic
you're not
range,
under-
just
you're
like...
not this guy.
Which means
This guy's
Shifa
not-
has semantic
Wallahi, this guy's
range.
not understanding,
Which
brother.
which means
this
you're
is-
saying
this is-
Shifa has semantic range,
This is the
just
silliest
like you
thing.
agreed that
This is the silliest
the
thing.
Gospels
This-
have
this is-
semantic range.
This guy's not tracking. Brother, I
No,
told
you're not
you.
tracking. You
I
can
told
say
you.
I'm not
I told-
tracking all
I
you
told-
want. You're just burying yourself
Hold on,
every
hold-
statement
hold
you
on.
make.
Okay, great. So I already told you that the historical position, the one that's been transmitted, right? The one about it only healing a specific domain of diseases or giving remedy to them, or depending on what they mean by shifa here. You could take that position, or you could take the literal reading of the hadith. I'm saying neither of them have any issues. It just depends on what's being meant by shifa here.
I agree.
Okay.
Just like it
So,
depends on what's being meant
either
by
of these-
Jesus when
okay,
he
perfect.
says the smallest
do
seed.
either-
So,
do
no,
either
you
of
finish
those-
talking.
so
I'm
do
responding to
either
you.
of those-
You finish
do
talking. I'm
either of
responding.
those- do
You
either of those
finished
readings contradict
talking.
reality?
You
Do
finished
either of-
talking.
do either of those
You were
readings
done
contradict
talking.
reality? Answer the question,
You
brother.
were
Stop
done
panicking.
talking.
Stop panicking,
You were
brother.
done talking.
All right, listen.
You were done talking.
Does
Nope.
either of the positions contradict
Dendril.
reality?
Nope.
Do
He was
either of
done
the-
talking.
All right. All right, guys.
Nope.
I think King had a question, and then Baba, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
Here.
So
No,
blah, blah, blah.
I wasn't finished with my statement, though.
Do either of the readings
Wait a second.
contradict?
Wait a
No,
second.
let me
I was
speak,
not.
brother.
I was not finished with my statement.
Brother,
Okay,
brother,
okay.
no, this guy keeps yo Central. This guy keeps interrupting me. This guy's not normal. Let me. Speak.
I'm trying to let it free flow. From what I heard, King, you were like responding, and then you were trying to put in a question at the end. So just let him land, Baba, and then you can respond.
All right. So bought by blood, depending on the interpretation of the word you take for shifa here, which is supported by the historical context and which is supported linguistically. There is no ambiguity with the sentence structure, right? There's no reason to force an absolute reading, but it can also be taken as an absolute reading. Would either of these positions contradict reality?
So,
Depending on what you mean.
I'll answer your question.
Depending on what you mean by shifa.
Yeah, I'll answer your question. So it is unambiguous. The Arabic is unambiguous, but there's dissenting positions in scholarship. Is that correct?
I'm saying it's. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, I'm saying it's unambiguous insofar as you don't have to assume whether it's what's it called? It's unambiguous insofar as you don't have to assume whether it's like whether it's being hyperbolic or if it's being literal. You can take yeah. I'm saying you could take either one. Both of them are supported. Both of them don't contradict reality.
Bro, okay, you keep repeating the same thing. It doesn't help you to repeat it. Because I have asked this over and over and over. When it comes to the hadith, okay? Let me just walk you through the logic, because I genuinely don't think you're tracking. So, Prophet says X, okay? Next, scholars and the people surrounding Prophet have to interpret X.
Brother, I'm getting brain rot. Be
quiet.
Keep asking me the same question.
Be quiet. Shut up. So, Prophet says X, and then people interpret X. The scholarly position about X is that Prophet's intended meaning is that it heals only cold diseases. Okay?
Yeah.
Your intended meaning, and that's
There's ikhtilaf.
Your intended meaning says that no, the Prophet meant that it heals all diseases, including hot diseases.
I'm saying there's
no. Listen.
It just depends on what
but you
shifa
said
means
the
here.
Arabic. Nope, you're cutting me off. You said the Arabic is unambiguous. If it is, answer this directly. If it is unambiguous, why are there dissenting positions?
Okay, I got
Where
you.
one scholar says hot diseases, yes, healing. One scholar says no, hot diseases, not healing.
I'm saying it's unambiguous in the fact that it would mean healing or remedy. That's what I mean when I say it's unambiguous. Now, the domain it's referring to, you can take multiple positions and neither of them would be problematic. That's why I told you that you have different scholars who held different positions. You're going to need to deal with the fact that neither of these positions contradict reality depending on what's meant by remedy and healing. You're not dealing with that.
No, I've already dealt with that.
It could mean a significant healing. It could mean a minimal healing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So you're saying
the point. The point is all we need to ground is that the word here means healing.
Yeah. So you can't know for. So what you're saying is you cannot know for sure what the Prophet actually intended.
Sorry?
Hold on. Yeah, so what you're saying is you do not know for sure what the Prophet intended to say.
What he meant absolutely? No, I don't know absolutely which one.
Okay, so you don't know what the Prophet intended
the same way
to say. How do you know?
The same way there's
if you don't know what the Prophet intended to say, then let
me finish answering. The same way there's different interpretations on Christ talking about eye for an eye, that doesn't mean that either interpretation is problematic. You could take either one and they're not problematic. It just depends on what the intention of the word healing means there.
Yeah, the same is going to apply to the mustard seed. The intention is what matters, right?
Excuse me?
Yeah, the intention
no.
of the speaker, intended meaning is what matters the most, right?
Yeah, no, so this is not analogous because when it comes to... I'm saying the
right was a question mark.
I'm telling you, the linguistic, what's it called? The linguistic formation of Mark 4:30 to 31 only allows for 2 readings. Both of them are problematic for you. So that's why it's an issue.
No, it doesn't allow for 2 readings.
Okay, so you...
When we go back to the Black Sea...
Wait, just 1 second.
No, you stop. Shut up.
You said there's 2 interpretations.
You stop talking. When you stop talking and I start talking, you shut up.
Don't interrupt me, bro. There's
all right, guys. Can we chill with telling
you
each other
interrupted me
to
directly.
shut up?
He asked me a question.
chill?
He's not letting me speak.
No. You interrupted me.
You asked me a question, dude. What's wrong with this guy? There's two.
No, I did
You
not.
finished.
There's
Listen,
You finished, and he
interpretations.
started, and you interrupted him.
No, I did not. Be quiet.
No, he interrupted me.
I'm going to
So,
continue
let him
Central
finish.
Central. He
There's
100% interrupted me.
Brother, he asked me
Yeah,
a
yeah.
question. He asked me. He asked me about the
Listen,
domain of the
Listen,
mustard
let
seed.
John finish, and then you can do. You guys are doing fine
Yeah.
so far, man. But you
Yeah.
just
Okay,
interrupted
so
him.
let
Let
me
him go,
finish.
and
So
then you
listen.
can come back.
So I'm telling you.
No, I'm going to finish my statement.
No, brother, you're not.
I'm gonna finish my
You're not
statement.
gonna speak over me, dude. You're not
Alright,
gonna
I'm
speak over me.
going to
Bro,
finish my
you're the
statement.
one who interrupted him,
Blood by
man.
blood. You interrupt. You asked me a question and then you interrupted me. What's wrong with you?
Bro,
dude?
when we rewind the tape, you're just going to look like a
Oh yeah,
ignoramus.
sure.
No.
Yeah, sure, man. Let me speak.
You cut me off. So no, I'm not letting you speak.
Central, bro. This guy's cutting me
I
off
know.
when he
I-
after he
I'm-
asks me a
Bro,
question.
he's not cutting him off, dude.
I'm
You cut
trying
me
to. I'm trying to moderate, but J49ers is trying to moderate, so I don't really know what's going
I'm just saying,
Okay,
you guys
here-
are doing
here.
fine, but
Yo,
in this,
yo,
in
Jake,
this
you chill,
case,
bro.
you
We
did
already
cut him
chose a
off.
moderator.
So let
Okay, so I'm-
let
yeah, I'm
John
gonna
We already
finish.
chose him. We already chose.
Let
a
John
moderator, dude.
finish, and then you can do it. So
Jay,
far, you guys
can
are
I-
doing fine.
Can I moderate?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yo,
but
Jay,
you have
you're
to be
not the
fair,
moderator.
Central.
dude.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
You're not the
So-
moderator.
Because
All right.
we're,
Yeah, so
we're,
anyway-
we're
so
keeping
anyway.
quiet so far, as you can see, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
only
So-
fair.
All right.
So when it comes,
Let me finish. Let me finish, dude.
bro,
Okay.
no, you
No,
cut me off.
I'm not
I'm
gonna
Okay.
continue unless you let me finish answering your question. Like,
Okay,
yo,
guys, come on.
Central, you
I
know,
did not- I
John
did not
started
ask you a
talking to
question.
you.
I was in
you
the
asked me a
Lord.
question about the interpretation. You said,
Here.
Okay, guys,
said-
Bye-bye. You did ask a question, okay? King Dawa, you did respond.
Yep.
So
I didn't
if
finish.
you want to, I know you didn't finish. So can we stop interrupting each other, guys? Please. So if you want,
All right.
So,
Bye-bye,
I literally have 5
restate your
seconds.
question.
okay.
Or
so-
King, if you know the question, just respond to it.
Okay.
okay.
He said.
Yeah. So this is.
So
Wait,
why
he
would
said,
it?
he told me to restate my question. Be quiet.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So the question specifically that I was asking was if it is the case that the prophet is intending to talk about hot diseases being healed, and you're saying that, or I'm sorry, the majority position of the scholars is to say that he intended that hot diseases are not healed, and you're saying that it's illocution, it's based off the intent, guess what? You're going to have a problem.
Can you respond now without interruption,
Okay. All
please?
right. Perfect. So I told you there are 2 interpretations that you can take regarding the mustard seed. It's either to a fixed domain or it means the whole earth. And you said, okay, well, there are 2 contradictory interpretations of the black seed. And I told you no, because they're in different respects. So if you read one to mean a high amount of remedy, and if you read another interpretation, which means just a general amount of remedy, any remedy you're healing, they're not contradictory, because you can have a disease in which there is strong remedy for, and one that has a weak amount of remedy from this black seed. And it just depends on what you're focusing on when you're exegeting the passage. However, either interpretation that you take on Mark 4:30 to 31 is still problematic for you. That's my answer.
Okay, great. So this is what you're not tracking. Again, I walked you through the logic. I can't walk you through it any better. If prophet intended to say that the black seed brings healing to hot diseases, okay?
Keeps asking the same question, dude.
That's because you genuinely are lost.
You're
You
so
genuinely
you're
are.
so confused, dude. You're
No.
actually so confused.
No,
This is
because
so-
they're contradictory.
So embarrassing.
Why do you not understand that they're
Okay.
contradictory?
Okay.
So, I'm gonna no. I'm talking. No,
This is so
No.
embarrassing. He's just gonna ask the same question
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to ask. You're very, very clearly not answering the question. The question has been consistent. You cannot offer a justifying principle using the hadith, using the text, to where you evaluate which position is true. You yourself agreed that you do not know which position is true. But you said both of them don't contradict reality. Yes, they would. One, because the black seed does not provide healing in every sense to all diseases, which contradicts reality. And then 2, if you take the fixed domain interpretation, then that means the black seed only can cure cold diseases, or bring healing to cold diseases, or bring healing to diseases that are caused by moisture based off of your scholars. So, yes or no? Solidify it. Yes or no? Does the prophet, when he says the statement, does it heal hot diseases? Yes or no? Does it heal hot?
Yeah,
Okay,
I take that
King Dollar,
interpretation to mean
respond.
minimal. I take that interpretation to mean minor healing. Yeah.
Okay. Does the position that it produces minor healing in hot diseases contradict the historical position from your scholars?
No, because they're talking about healing in a broader sense, stronger healing.
No, I'll read it. I'll read it for you. So let me read again, because
Yeah. So no scholar is going
it
to
was
believe.
said.
Oh
Wait,
my
let me
goodness.
read. It was
Blood
said
by-
that the
blood by
words
blood,
every
blood by blood.
disease.
No scholar
Wait.
is going to. That's historically implausible. So no scholar is going to think that it has absolutely no health benefit. What they're speaking about is regarding specific remedying which is effective. This is the more probable interpretation historically. That's why I told you could take either one and they don't contradict reality. It just depends on what you mean by healing. Now you've asked this question like 10 times, dude. And like I
No,
keep
it's
giving
not.
you this I keep giving you the same answer. It's
Okay.
embarrassing.
All right, I'm going to step in a little bit, guys. I think we are going in circles. So, Bye, if you want to ask one more question, and then King, if you want to respond, and then maybe kind of move on, because we are going a little bit
This
in
is my
circles.
last answer, bro. This is actually embarrassing. Like he doesn't understand. It depends on what respect is being spoken of.
Great.
Yeah, like I didn't know you didn't know what a
Yeah,
contradiction
the
is either.
respect.
So
The contradiction is going to be provides healing to hot diseases, does not provide healing to hot diseases. That's the contradiction.
oh my god. Minor healing or major remedy?
So any sense. When you say
Oh my
minor
good
healing
God.
or major
oh
remedy,
Lord. Dude,
No,
this
no, no,
guy's this guy's so slow. Oh my god. If one is talking about major remedy and another is just
Bro.
talking about general improvement, minimal improvement, do these contradict each other?
no one takes it. No one takes it as general
I just
improvement
showed you. Oh my
because
god, dude, this guy's so slow.
I read this to
literally-
you.
I literally
read this to you.
This guy's terrible.
read this to you over and over.
I read to you a commentary
So here,
which literally
one-
says this is
one
talking
second.
about help in a broader sense. I'm going to read it to you again. Like you're clearly not paying attention. You're
That's
such a bot,
one
bro.
scholar.
What
The
are you-
point is scholars
There's
dissent.
multiple. I'm just giving you one because it's available. Look, shit.
They
mentioned by
dissent.
Ibn Hajar
Ken.
narrates-
You can't fix this.
Ibn Hajar.
You can't fix that they disagree.
Various positions. Yo, mute this guy. Let me speak, man.
You
Mentioned by
can't
Ibn
fix
Hajar.
that they disagree.
Let me read this. Sheikh
No
Abu
matter what you
Muhammad
do.
bin Abi Jamra said, people have discussed this hadith, restricting its general meaning and referring it to the
Okay,
statements.
right there. They're restricting.
Let me finish. And empirical.
They're
evidence-
restricting it.
Let me finish.
Wait,
What's wrong with this guy?
Bob, let
Empirical
him finish the
experience.
quote, please.
There is no hidden flaw in the error of such view. Because if we accept physicians whose knowledge is mostly based on experimentation, built upon strong probability, then the testimony of one who does not speak from desire is more deserving of acceptance than their words. So that's my interpretation. It has already been explained that interpreting it in a general sense can be justified by understanding it as referring more broadly to both single and compound uses. There's no problem in that, nor does it depart from the apparent meaning of the hadith, and God knows best. So I've told you, this could just be referring to minor healing in a general sense, or it could be referring to remedy for specific diseases. And either way, because one is major healing and one is minor healing, they don't contradict each other. So you're gonna have to deal with that, dude. I've read like I
Yeah,
can
great.
read-
Okay.
If you want, I can bring you all the scholars who have
right.
ikhtilaf on this,
That's
and
great.
they all mention.
So when
this
that
in-
scholar says, when that scholar says, and he starts the statement with saying there are those who restrict it, and I have the exact same quote here, right? That was from. Let's see. Was that Jamra? What was the author on that one?
Sheikh Abu Muhammad bin Abi Jamra.
Jamar, yeah. So here it is. Some people commented on the hadith, made its general statements, specifically referring it to the views of the people who have medical experience, but one who says that is obviously mistaken, because if we believe the physicians, whose knowledge is based on experience, the foundation of which is what most
Wait, where are
likely
you
to be
reading from?
right. Yeah, I'm reading specifically
bring it here.
from Jamra.
Let me
This
see
is quoted
Show
by
it on screen.
this is quoted by Ibn.
You said bin Abi Jamra says they're mistaken for holding this view. That's not what I
Yeah,
have here.
some people commented on this hadith, made its
Show
general
me your
statements
show me your
specific.
screen, bro. Because my quote is completely different. It says, "The statement there is
Yeah,
no
he's-
hidden flaw." They literally say there is no hidden flaw in the error of such view. So you're saying he says there's a problem. So can you show us?
Yeah, who's quoting this from? Who's
getting-
yours quoted from? It might not be the same hadith.
I'm getting it from Ibn Hajar on Fath al-Bari. It's talking
Wait,
about
does,
the
does
same-
your hadith talk about the whims and desires?
Let me see. Hold on, let me get it up quickly. Talking
I
about the
don't-
black
I don't-
seed. It's talking about the black seed.
This is from Fath Ubari 10:145. What's your citation?
Let me get it for you. Give me 1 second. It's in Arabic.
I just want to let you both know I have about 4 minutes left, and then I'm gonna let Contra take over.
Okay, let me see.
So what we'll do, because I mean, and this has already been this has been plenty long. I want to go over just like one more thing.
Sahih al-Bukhari. Let me see. Sorry, just give me 1 second.
One more thing, and then closing statement. Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, we can do something like that. If you don't have the citation, let's just
No,
move
I
on.
do, but just give me 1 second. It's 10-150. Fath al-Bari.
Okay, Fat Al Bari 10:150.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 145. So this is before that.
Okay.
So
Who's speaking?
some people commented on this hadith and made its general statement specific, referring it to the views of people who have medical experience. But the one who says that is obviously mistaken, because if we believe the physicians whose knowledge is based on experience, the foundation of which is what most likely to be right, then to believe the one who does not speak on the basis of whims and desires, the Prophet, blessings, peace of Allah be upon him, is more appropriate.
Who's speaking here?
So this is Jamra.
Okay. Let me see.
Yeah. Fat Al Bari
So just put it on
10:145.
your screen.
I just gave the citation. The citation's good enough.
No, but I'm trying to see because I have something
I
different
mean, it's
here.
just everything I read to you is
Sheikh
just type.
Abu Muhammad ibn Abi Jamra, right?
Yeah, it's 10:145. So
Okay.
here's the point. Here's the point. Jamra and Ibn Hajar. Hajar is quoting Jamra,
Yep.
but Hajar is negating Jamra's position.
Okay.
Why is it the
Because
case?
he disagrees.
Okay, great. Thank God. So, Ibn Hajar, Jamra disagree. They're both interpreting the same hadith. Okay? You're interpreting and you're taking it in Jamra's position, not Ibn Hajar's position. They disagree with each other. What interpretive principle are you relying on to pick a
Oh my
position
god, dude, this is
of
so
the Arabic?
this is so terrible, brother.
Of the Arabic. Use the text. Nothing other
This
than
is so
text.
bad, brother. I already told you they have ikhtilaf. I already told you could take either position. They're just referring to healing in a different sense. So if it's in a different sense, it's not
a
contradictory.
principle. That's not a principle. I asked
Oh
the
my-
principle
oh my
you're
God.
using. What's the name of the principle? Name the principle.
Dude, I'm telling you, I believe that this is more in accordance with reality. I believe that it genuinely heals everything in at least a small minor way. So I have no issue with, like, that's what I believe.
Okay,
Why-
are you
you
deriving
asking
that
me-
from the
you
text?
You asking me, sorry?
Are you deriving it from the text?
From the
Or are you
plain-
deriving it from
I'm
or
telling-
are
I'm
you
telling-
deriving
I'm
it from
telling you
external
there's
reality?
different interpretations. Both are valid. I've chosen this one.
Okay, but they're not both valid.
They are
This is
both valid, dude. You're not paying attention. Just because there's ikhtilaf between the scholars doesn't mean you can't take either position. You're not understanding.
you-
I just told
no,
you.
you-
Okay.
this is the point.
Blood by blood. Do you agree that they're speaking about healing in a different respect?
So yeah, when they're talking about healing,
Okay, all right,
one
sweet. So there's no contradiction.
Wait.
Thank you. That's all we needed.
no,
Now,
it's a
now,
different
please-
respect that
please
is
move on.
contradictory.
My interpretation, what
It's
I
a
think
different
is,
respect
my
that is
interpretation, what I
contradictory.
think is irrelevant.
It is a different respect that is contradictory. That's the point. It's not different
No,
different
okay, if
respect
it's
that's
in it,
not
can things
contradictory.
Can things contradict if they're in a different respect?
Yes, 100%.
Oh my god.
Yeah, when you have
Oh
one
my
respect,
goodness. Oh my
listen,
goodness.
listen, bro, we're not
Oh my
talking
good- oh my
about a
good-
proposition.
good-
When you
good
say
Lord.
different respect,
Hold
we're
on,
not
hold on,
talking
hold on.
about.
Oh
we're not.
my good God.
Listen.
So you're saying
You
if
need to-
they're
you
in
need- no, no, no.
if they're in
When you
different
say
res- if
different
they're in different
respect-
respects, then they're still contradicting each other.
Yeah, if you're saying different respects in the sense that they're being interpreted differently, they're being using in different interpretive methods. That's the different respects. If you're saying it's in the same way and in the same sense, well, no, we know they're not
Healing,
even
I'm saying
talking
if
about
the
in the
healing
same way and in the same sense.
Is what they understand of healing contradictory? Are they in the same respect?
Yes.
You just agreed that one is healing generally, any kind of healing, and another is talking about specific remedy. So how are they in the same respect, you donut?
No, they're in the same respect in virtue of when we say, hey, there's this interpretation and that there's that respect, and then there's this interpretation and there's that respect. The same way and in the same sense is not the same way in the same way in the same respect.
What the hell are you doing? What's this guy talking about? Yo, oh my god, brother, you don't even know what a contradiction is. I'm not asking
I know
you-
exactly what a
I'm not-
contradiction.
Oh my god. I'm not asking you about the interpretive lens.
You asked if there are different respects interpreted.
Oh my god, I'm not asking you if the interpretations themselves are from different lenses, which are contradictory. I'm asking you whether the type of healing is contradictory.
The type of healing would be contradictory, yes.
They would be
One
okay,
sense
okay. So if
is
one-
that
okay,
the contradiction is this.
Okay.
So
So
let
if
me
one
answer your
is
question.
talking-
No,
one-
let
one
me
is
answer your
talking
question.
about
You asked me a
major-
question.
no, 'cause I think you're
Let me
confused.
answer your
One is
question.
one is
You
talking
answer.
about-
You asked
one is
me a
talking
question.
about- no, you didn't get
Central.
my
He
question.
asked me a question.
One
Let me
is
answer.
talking about major healing.
Okay.
Another's talking
He asked
about
me a question.
minor
Let me
healing.
answer.
If one is
Okay,
talking about
okay,
major
okay.
healing,
Let me answer your question.
another talking about
Let me
major
answer your
healing.
question.
Guys,
You don't know my question.
guys, okay.
Yes, you
we
just
are
asked it.
genuinely
This guy's
okay,
so
guys, we are
slow.
genuinely going in circles. Genuinely. So
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think
Let me answer your
wrap this up.
question.
Bob, I
and
asked
minor
your question.
healing in the same
Yeah.
respect. That's all I want to
Okay.
know.
okay, if you mean same way and same respect that it is applying the same way and the same sense, then no. But if
Thank
we're talking about interpretive methods,
Thank you.
if we're
That's all
talking
I
about
needed.
interpretive methods,
That's all I
then
needed,
there's a
brother.
distinction that contradicts.
Thank you, brother. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. Thank you,
Brother, you're not even tracking.
That's all I needed. Thank you, Habibi.
You're not even
of them,
tracking.
neither of them contradict reality because they're in different respects and both of them are applicable. Thank you, brother. That's all I needed.
God, they contradict each other.
That doesn't matter. Oh my God.
It
Just-
doesn't matter that they
just-
contradict
just-
each other?
Just because the interpretations, all right, listen, just because the interpretations do not allow for the, what's it called? Do not allow for the same conclusion, doesn't mean that what's being spoken about is in the same respect. That's why I'm saying you could take one interpretation or the other, and neither one of them would contradict reality. That's what I'm saying. Because they're speaking about major healing and minor healing. One says general healing, any kind of healing, and another says specific treatment and remedy. That's why you're not understanding.
I've understood this 1,000 times. So
You understood it
literally-
1,000 times?
You're really good at dodging questions. You don't answer questions well at all. Because I asked for the principle more than once. The actual principle that you're using to choose which interpretation that you're using.
That's not relevant, dude. That's not relevant.
That's exactly relevant.
No,
it's the
it's
same
not-
question I've asked 1,000
It's not
times.
relevant. You're asking me what my position on this doesn't matter. My position doesn't matter. The same way you could take a different interpretation on eye for an eye and it not what's it called? And it still be valid for another person to take another position. That's just the position I take. Like it's not relevant.
Okay. So it's the position you take. You don't have a principle that you're using to interpret one way over the other.
I believe with what we have today, we can observe that the plain reading of the text is applicable to minor healing in all ways,
Okay.
in all diseases.
Yeah. So
And that is
How
that is a position.
yeah,
which
it doesn't
classically-
affect the disease.
that-
It
that
doesn't
is a
affect the
position-
disease at all.
That is
Because
a
you
position.
said
That
you
is a
said
position
that
which is classic.
helping the person affects
Is the
the disease.
position classically supported?
Your position?
Yes. What I just gave
Yeah,
you.
but it contradicts the
Okay,
other
okay,
position.
perfect.
That's fine.
But now, the reason I
That's
take
fine.
this interpretation is because I see the miracle in it. I see that it provides minor healing for all things. So that's why I'm locally justified in taking that interpretation. The other one is still fine. It's just talking about healing in a different respect, so there's no issue.
No. The reason there is an issue is because if you look at the hadith here, let's just read this one more time, okay?
He's stuck. He's literally stun locked.
So-
He doesn't
I'm
understand.
not stun locked. I'm pulling up the hadith.
He's literally stun locked. He doesn't know what to do now. Bro,
pulling up
you lost from the very
listen,
beginning when you
If
said
that
that.
if
when
me
you
pulling
said-
up a hadith is being stun locked, you went to like ChatGPT 12 times throughout the debate. And
I
you went
haven't
off
gone.
script.
I've been.
How
in
many
my
times did
car,
you? If
I've
that
been
was
in
me
my-
getting
listen,
stun
I've been
locked,
in
how
my
many
car,
times did you get stun locked?
I've been walking around.
How many
I've
many
been in my car.
times-
I've been walking around.
how
I
many
haven't gone-
times did you teacup?
Wallahi.
How many times did you teacup? How many times did you teacup?
Thumma wallahi, I've not gone on ChatGPT.
ChatGPT
One
failed
time.
you anyway.
One time. Thumma wallahi. Uqsum
Yeah.
billah.
Pull up the hadith. Pull up the hadith.
So let me read the
Wallahi, I
hadith.
haven't gone on
And then-
ChatGPT.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
so
guys.
we went out.
Yeah,
so-
let's
so
look at
here's-
the reference. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Bob.
so here's the hadith. Aisha has narrated to me, she heard the Prophet. This black cumin is healing for all diseases. Your position, I'll steelman you, your position is that healing here is in reference to minor healing for anything that's in reference to the person. The hadith says that it is for the diseases specifically. Your position,
Where in the hadith?
It's distinct.
Where in the hadith does it say?
black cumin, healing for all diseases. Right here.
That's my. I'm taking the apparent. position. The hadith
Well,
doesn't say what.
yeah,
The hadith
but
doesn't say
listen,
what you said it
Your
does.
position
The hadith doesn't
does
say.
not
You lost.
affect the disease.
You lost. The hadith doesn't say.
Your position
specific-
doesn't affect the
The
disease.
hadith doesn't say a specific domain.
Your
You lost.
position doesn't
What?
affect
It's
the
over.
disease.
It's over.
You're
for you,
just
brother.
all you're
It's
saying.
finished.
All you're saying is that it is affecting the person. It's not actually affecting the disease. That's all you're saying.
Oh my god!
Your
If it
position.
helps the person, does it help the disease?
No, that's the point.
Guy's slow. This guy's stupid.
So, okay, if I-
wait a minute, bro.
Yeah, so if
Bro,
I have-
oh my
watch this,
God.
watch this.
This guy's
how dumb
actually
this is.
not real, bro.
Watch how
This
dumb this
guy's
is.
actually not real.
If I twist
how
my
can-
ankle-
wait, so how can
If I
you feel-
twist my listen, if
oh my
I
God.
twist my ankle and I have cancer and I do something to help my ankle, did I do something that helps my cancer?
I got you. I'm gonna answer that because of the anti-inflammatory properties, because of the what's it called, the production of white cells, right? These would give at least a minor contribution. So yes, there would be a healing.
That doesn't answer my question. I
I
didn't
did- I
say
said
anything
yes.
about the seed.
I said
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything about the seed. You answered a question I didn't ask.
Oh my god.
If I injure my ankle, okay, and I have cancer, and I take something
God forbid. God
that
forbid.
if I take something, not cumin, because it doesn't work, if I take something for my ankle, does that affect my cancer in any way?
Does it affect your cancer?
Taking something,
Yeah, it
so
would affect- it would
healing my
affect- it
ankle
would-
heals the person, right?
Yeah. So.
Healing my ankle
Oh
heals the
my
person,
God.
right?
You realize medications
Lock in.
can have.
No, I'm not
you realize
letting you dodge any more
medications can have dual effects.
I'm not
right?
letting you dodge any more
I
questions.
said yes. I said yes. You realize that
No.
medications can have
Healing
dual
my
effects.
ankle. Answer my question.
Oh my
Healing
god.
my
Can-
ankle
can
heals
I-
the person.
Wait, hold on. Can something
Healing my
heal-
ankle.
Can
No.
something
I'm
affect
done
two
with you
things-
dodging.
Can something
Healing
affect
the
two-
ankle
Wait,
heals
hold on.
the person,
Can-
right?
Can something heal two things at
Healing
once?
the ankle. I asked
can
you
medicine
first.
heal two things
Healing
at
the
once?
ankle heals the person,
Can
right?
medicine heal two things at once?
Healing the ankle heals the person, right?
Can medicine heal two things at once?
Answer the question I asked. Don't dodge.
Can
You're
medicine
running. You look
heal
bad.
two things at once? Answer
I
the question.
asked you a
Didier.
question first before
Answer
you
the
asked.
question, brother.
No,
I
answer the
already
question
said-
I asked.
I
Is
already
healing my ankle healing the person?
I already told you, if you take something which affects
Is
both,
healing
then yes.
the ankle healing the person?
He's
Yes
literally,
or no?
literally in bot mode now, man.
Yes
He's
or
literally
no?
in bot- He's literally
Healing
in
the
bot
ankle
mode.
heals the person.
I'm already telling you, it depends on the medicine taken. If it has dual effects, then yes, and that's my position.
Okay, wait a second. So healing the ankle heals the person, but healing the ankle does not heal the cancer. So if I take black cumin and it heals a part of me and it does not heal another part of me, then guess what? It didn't actually affect the disease. It just affected the
You're so
person,
slow.
which means it contradicts
I'm
the hadith.
saying, but that's not the position I take. I'm saying it gives minor benefit to all of these things. So you're
But
not
then
paying
you-
attention. You're not
But
paying
your
attention.
position
You're
isn't
not
even
paying
in the
attention.
scholarship.
You literally don't know what's happening.
Your
look at
position
Central
isn't
Dow.
even in the
Central Dow.
scholarship in that sense.
Central Dow is going to melt into the ground, brother, from watching.
Your position, then your position isn't even in the scholarship. Because
you just agreed
because
that it
the
is.
position of
You
the
just
scholarship.
agreed
No,
that it is. Oh my
no,
God,
because
you
the,
already
no, because the
agreed that
position
it
of the
is.
scholarship
Brother,
is that it's affecting the
Literally
disease.
5 seconds ago. This is terrible. Literally 5
Yeah,
seconds ago.
your position
you said
is
my
not-
position is in the
So
scholarship.
let's do this,
Yo,
guys.
this is not real.
Guys. Let's
Let's
wrap
wrap
this
it up,
up in
BBB.
1
It's
minute,
not
and then
looking
Yeah,
you get
fine. We
your
can
closing
wrap it
statement.
up.
Okay.
No,
So your position.
Then you get your closing statement for 2 minutes each. Let's do that. Let's do
Yeah.
it. And then we can have any questions people want to ask. Or come up.
We're
Yeah,
just going to do an
all that
open
stuff.
panel at that point. So just bring up everyone.
That's fine. Yeah, your position does not actually is not
doesn't?
represented in the scholarship.
Wait,
because the
Bye-bye,
scholarship-
wait, guys. Bye-bye. I'm going to give you 2 minutes on the dot, all right?
Fine, that's fine.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so here is King Dawa's position, just so everyone's aware. King Dawa thinks that the hadith is literal in the sense that the black seed can bring some sense of healing to every person in some sense. So anyone who takes it, it brings healing in some sense to the person, which contradicts the hadith, because the hadith does not say it's about the person. It says it's affecting the disease. The hadith specifically says brings healing for the disease. Healing the person does not heal the disease. It doesn't bring any sense of healing to the disease. If I heal my ankle, then guess what? I'm healing the person. But healing my ankle does not heal a disease if I have cancer, or if I have some other like glaucoma, or if I have some other thing. It doesn't do anything to affect the disease. So his position is actually out of alignment with the scholarship on this, because the scholars that hold to a literal interpretation are saying that it literally is healing the disease every time you take it. It is not something that's just healing the person. It's healing the disease. Now, let's look at this. Taking the literal interpretation of this, it is not backed up anywhere in pharmacology. It is not backed up anywhere in reference to observed reality. He said, my view doesn't contradict reality. It contradicts reality massively. Because all we need, just like the one I gave, Miran's disease is a cold disease, and at the end of the study, we did not observe any significant improvement in studies, group hearing, threshold, tinnitus, or vertigo. It didn't heal the disease, which means the hadith is going to be necessarily false if you are taking a literal interpretation. Now, when you go further than that, and you go into the scholarly position, they're saying, okay, this is not in reference to literal healing in every sense, but they restrict it. How do they restrict it? They restrict the domain to where they say it brings healing only to cold diseases, not hot diseases. They restrict it to rather what is meant is that it brings healing for every disease that is caused by moisture. Abu Arabi says honey is more likely to be a remedy for every disease than black seed is. And then Qayyim says destroying everything by the command of its Lord. So what is Qayyim saying here? Qayyim is saying that when you take black seed for a disease, in the same way the Quran talks about everything being destroyed by Allah, when Allah seeks to destroy something, that's the same effect that the black seed has on the disease. So Qayyim takes an interpretation that this is going to be directly everything that could be destroyed. So if you have cancer and you take black seed, this person in the hadith thinks that the Prophet Muhammad is saying it will destroy that. So there's all these dissenting positions. There's the literal position, which they think they understand what the Prophet meant in terms of his intent. There is the non-literal position, where they take it to be hyperbolic. There is in-between positions where, like, they think that it brings, like, some remedy or some healing to the disease. But King Dawa's position is not even in the hadith corpus. It is not in the scholarship to where it's healing the person is bringing some healing to the disease. Not a single source that he brought represents that whatsoever. So if we just go over this, this is going to be the end of it.
All right.
I said that.
Bye-bye. I gave you 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the dot.
Oh, I thought we had 5 minute closings. I thought we agreed to 5 minutes.
3 minutes.
Oh, Jay said 2 minutes. I figured I'd let you just go for an extra.
Fine.
Oh, I thought we did
minute.
5-minute opening, 5-minute
It's
closing.
getting long.
What you guys agreed to. I just came up arbitrary. So if you guys agreed to 5 minutes, it's fine.
All right,
Okay,
so here's
so you're at
Wrap it up,
3:30.
bro. Let's just keep it short.
okay. I'll finish really quick. So here's the point. In closing, the mustard seed argument, utterly defeated by the fact that Jesus is consciously aware of seeds. The black seed argument, utterly defeated because King Dawa did exactly what I said he was going to do. He referenced Shifa in the word in Arabic. He said that it has a semantic range, which means it can either be a restricted domain or not a restricted domain, in the same way that I said that the content of the mustard seed has different language that is employed. The context, the speaker's intent, when we're referencing hyperbole or when we're referencing like inference to the best explanation, the semantic range, all of these things, these are all things he actually had to employ in order to get his view. And he said at the end of the day, he didn't even know what the prophet's intent was. So he doesn't know that his view is in alignment with the prophet. He doesn't know if his view is actually correct. He doesn't know if the prophet is saying something that is false, because if you don't know what the prophet means, then you cannot make the inference that the prophet is speaking truthfully. And you can, so you cooked yourself with that. The moment you said you don't know what the prophet means.
I didn't. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I didn't say that. I said that I take a specific interpretation. I take the position of Sheikh Abu Muhammad bin Abi Jamrah, which you already said is supported by scholarship. Then you backtracked and you said that it's not supported by scholarship. So we all caught you in your lie. That was embarrassing. Secondly, you said that these positions contradict in reality. No, they don't. Not if they are speaking in two different respects. If the position of Abi Jamrah is speaking about a general remedy or a general healing, even in the most minute of ways, then therefore it wouldn't contradict the other position of Ibn Hajar and others, because they are speaking about specifically high healing or large amounts of healing, right? So this is talking about an effective remedy. Now, he gave a terrible example. He gave a terrible analogy. He said that if a person rolls their ankle and they take something to roll their ankle and it heals them, well, that doesn't mean that it would cure the cancer that they have. Okay, but that's only in the case that the remedy that they're taking doesn't affect both. So if the remedy does affect both, which is the position I take, just in different ways, then there's no contradiction. So this guy doesn't know what a contradiction is. I granted him the literal reading of the text, even though I didn't have to, and there's still no problem if it's used in the sense that I've explained. However, he made multiple blunders on the mustard seed. He said that it is hyperbolic, then he said it's not hyperbolic. And if we do take a literal reading of the text, then Christ most definitely can't be God. So this is quite embarrassing, I'll be honest. He brought citations which I'm guessing, I don't even think they were real, because you brought me a quotation from Fath al-Bari which contradicts exactly what I have. So I'm guessing you're the one who was on ChatGPT. Also, Bought by Blood conceded in this debate that it doesn't matter what's it called? Statements being proclaimed true by Christ if they are known in the literature or if he's speaking a language which is common to the people of his contemporaries. Now, this was embarrassing. I gave him the example of the earth being flat and it being commonly understood and Christ affirming it. And Bought by Blood said that would be completely fine if it was known to the people. This is terrible. He also said that just because two positions contradict each other, they can't both correspond in reality or have no contradiction to reality. That's a terrible blunder. There are different interpretations of Jesus' saying of the eye for an eye law in the Gospels. However, neither of them contradict reality. So you didn't provide any defeater in your argument, and you conceded within the first minute when you said that black seed will have minimal healing properties for any disease should it heal the body in any way. Minor, even if it's the size of my finger, even if it's the size of the orchid seed which ends Christianity. But yeah, man, other than that, it was a decent conversation. I do appreciate him coming up, and yeah, at some point. But yeah, I'm hoping we can get into the open panel section soon. I'm finished.
You have 2 minutes left on the dot. You want it or no?
I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. No, I'm chilling.
All right. Guys, I'm going to drop. Thank you for allowing me to moderate. It was last minute. thank you both for just like a nice cordial combo. Yeah, do your thing, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, Central.
No, of course, man.
All right, thanks. Thanks,
KD,
Mullah.
later. Assalamu alaikum. Bye bye. Say it, man.
Central, salam alaikum. Thank you
So
for
I don't know how
coming
to bring people up for this stuff.
Wa alaikum
By the
assalam
way.
wa rahmatullah. I'm sorry?
No, I was just saying to John. I said I don't know how to bring people up for your panel and stuff.
All right, yalla, KD. Good job. Bye bye, blood. Good job. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.